How are you? Lin Ran asked anxiously, trying to find Xiao Hei's figure in the dim light. Xiao Hei, luckily, I got in early, or I would have been a goner. But I can heal quickly here, and I'm almost better now, Xiao Hei replied, its voice gradually regaining some strength. Lin Ran suddenly became suspicious. He frowned, a flicker of doubt in his eyes. Then why did you go away to heal last time? He asked, remembering the previous time Xiao Hei had been injured and left to recuperate. Something fell off. Xiao Hei, last time, it was a spiritual injury that couldn't be healed quickly. This time, it's a physical one, so I can, Xiao Hei explained, a hint of helplessness in its tone. Where is this? Lin Ran asked, looking at the strange scenery around him, his heart filled with curiosity and confusion. Xiao Hei, it's a four-dimensional space within the time tunnel, I guess. I'm speechless. Luo Yao is too ruthless. Meow, meow, meow. Xiao Hei replied, its voice still laced with fear of Luo Yao. Lin Ran. When will you be better? His heart was with Luo Yao, and he wanted to go back as soon as possible to give her the note. Xiao Hei. Soon, just a few more minutes. Lin Ran. Since we're here, you might as well take a look around. This is all time that has passed. Luo Yao is too ruthless. Meow, meow, meow. Xiao Hei said, seeming to have recovered from its pain. Lin Ran started to become interested in this space. Can we go back later? Lin Ran asked, his eyes filled with anticipation. Xiao Hei, you can't go back to the same time twice in one rewind. Meow, 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 but this cat can get you a minute or so. Meow, meow, meow. Luo Yao is too ruthless. Meow, meow, meow. Xiao Hei answered, its voice a little hesitant. Then, once you're healed, we have to go back, at least to give her the note. That's right, with the sudden turn of events, Lin Ran was still clutching the note with his promise written on it. He didn't want to disappoint Luo Yao again. That note was the only connection between them, his promise to her. Even if he could only go back for a minute, he had to give a note to Luo Yao. Xiao oh. Meow, 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 whim, whim, whimper. Xiao Hei cried out reluctantly, clearly still afraid of Luo Yao. In this space, Lin Ran felt as if the entire world had come to a standstill. The surrounding light seemed frozen, unchanging. Suddenly, he saw a shocking scene. He was in a vast, white space with distorted shapes all around him, above, below, and before him. The shapes were like flowing liquid or illusory smoke, constantly changing. Looking closely, they were playing out his past and his future. The scenes flashed before his eyes like a movie, each one incredibly real. He saw his own childhood laughter, the moments he spent with Luo Yao, and some scenes he had never witnessed before. And was that a glimpse of the future? Lin Ran was stunned, his eyes wide with shock. Xiao Hei, seen enough? Can we go now? Xiao Hei's voice echoed in Lin Ran's mind. It seemed to have mostly recovered, its tone tinged with impatience. Lin Ran's calm voice was heard. This isn't the first time you've done something like this, is it? Lin Ran looked at Xiao Hei, his gaze sharpening as suspicion surged in his heart. Xiao Hei's blue eyes widened. What? Its thoughts carried a hint of surprise, as if it hadn't expected Lin Ran to ask such a question. This isn't the first time you've reversed time, is it? Have you resurrected me many times? Is it just that you let me keep my memories this time? What is your real purpose? Lin Ran pressed Xiao Hei step by step, feeling as if he had touched upon a colossal secret that might unveil all the mysteries. Xiao Hei took 2 steps back, frightened by Lin Ran's interrogation. A flash of panic crossed its eyes, and its body trembled slightly. Lin Ran, don't force me, Xiao Hei's voice pleaded, as it tried to evade Lin Ran's questions. Lin Ran suddenly smiled, a cunning smile like a cat that had gotten the cream. The corners of his mouth turned up slightly, his eyes twinkling with the satisfaction of a successful prank. Just kidding. By the way, what's in there? Look under that bridge, is that someone? His gaze was fixed on a strange scene before him, his eyes full of curiosity. In one of the scenes, he saw a pair of eyes under a bridge. The eyes looked somewhat familiar, yet they exuded a sinister aura, like a venomous snake hiding in the shadows, flicking its tongue, ready to strike. And on the bridge was himself, driving a car that shot forward like an arrow, about to cross it. Lin Ran looked closely and soon recognized the person. It was Luo Yao. The sinister look in those eyes filled him with unease, as if countless conspiracies were hidden behind that gaze. Xiao Hei, there's a woman. What are you planning to do? Xiao Hei's voice sounded in Lin Ran's mind, laced with confusion and vigilance. Lin Ran, I was just wondering, can I influence my past self from here? His eyes shone with excitement. The idea sprouted in his mind like a seed. He was filled with a desire to explore this magical time tunnel, to attempt this seemingly impossible feat. Xiaohei fell silent for a moment, its small figure trembling slightly in the light. It didn't answer Lin Ran's question, seemingly weighing the pros and cons, or perhaps hesitating whether to let Lin Ran attempt such a dangerous act. But Lin Ran didn't care about that. He was like a child driven by curiosity. He took out his phone from his pocket, turned on the flashlight function, which emitted a blinding light in this strange space. He raised his phone and shone it at his own image in the scene. The action was swift and decisive, as if afraid to miss the opportunity. Sure enough, the Lin Ran on the bridge seemed to have been startled by something. His body jolted, and he instinctively slammed on the brakes. The car let out a piercing screech on the bridge, the tires leaving a black mark on the ground. Lin Ran was momentarily stunned. He stared blankly at himself in the scene, an indescribable feeling welling up inside him. This scene, it seemed like something he had experienced before. He tried hard to recall that sudden, unknown feeling at the time, that moment when it felt like a mysterious force had intervened. Was that himself? Lin Ran felt like his brain couldn't keep up, his thoughts a tangled mess, as countless questions intertwined in his mind. Xiaohei, Lin Ran, the time paradox is a difficult thing to explain. Not only you, but even I can't fully comprehend it. We should hurry up and go where you want to go. Xiaohei's voice was tinged with urgency, trying to pull Lin Ran out of his chaotic thoughts. It knew that casually interfering with the past in this time tunnel could trigger a series of unpredictable consequences. Lin Ran had to admit, this was a bit beyond his imagination. He took a deep breath, trying to calm himself. All right, what's that? Is that the future? His attention was caught by another scene, the sight of which plunged him into shock once more. Xiaohei, yes, but this future no longer exists. Just think of it as a time that never was. Xiaohei replied, its voice echoing with a mysterious quality in the empty space. In it, Lin Ran saw a scene he didn't want to see. He then searched for the starting timeline in the distorted images. It seemed he was trying to stop Luo Yao from leaving the basement, his face filled with anxiety. His movements were frantic, and as he stood up, he slammed his head straight into the chandelier above. The chandelier swung violently from the impact, making a creaking sound. Xiaohei, if you hadn't stopped her this time, Luo Yao would have been in danger. She would have gotten hurt and then hidden it from you. Xiaohei didn't finish, but Lin Ran already knew the outcome because he had just seen it. Lin Ran was instantly frantic. Whenever Luo Yao was involved, he would lose his rationality. His eyes burned with anxious flames as he shouted, "Fuck, then you have to help me. Xiaohei, how can I help you? I'm just a cat that was stabbed by Luo Yao. Luo Yao is too ruthless. Meow, meow, meow. Besides, this is nothing. It's just an image like a movie. It's not really going to happen. You've already changed this outcome. This is just a possible outcome projected by time." Suddenly, before Xiaohei could react, Lin Ran violently grabbed it. His action was swift and powerful. Like a crazed pitcher, he threw it towards the chandelier, shouting, "Go, Pikachu!" Xiaohei, fuck. Lin Ran, you're inhuman. Xiaohei let out a blood-curdling scream in midair, its small body tracing an arc through space. Its eyes were filled with terror and rage. It never imagined Lin Ran would treat it like this. Thrown into the scene, Xiaohei adjusted its posture in midair and then stamped hard on the chandelier. The chandelier swayed even more violently under its foot, looking like it could fall at any moment. Xiaohei leaped back into the time channel, its movements as nimble as a startled rabbit. In the time scene, as the chandelier swayed, it finally came crashing down with a clatter. Lin Ran's eyes widened, and he shouted, "Watch out!" He pushed Luo Yao aside, who narrowly dodged it, but he himself was hit. Blood oozed from the wound, staining his clothes red. Aaron, Luo Yao had noticed. A flash of panic crossed her eyes. She quickly turned back and supported Lin Ran, her eyes full of worry, her voice trembling. It was the heartache of seeing Lin Ran injured. "Xiaohei, you bastard! Why would you do that to me? Meow, meow, meow." Xiaohei shouted angrily, its furry body trembling with rage. Its fur stood on end as it glared fiercely at Lin Ran, its eyes looking as if they were about to shoot fire. Lin Ran scratched his head in embarrassment. "Sorry, I was in a rush. It won't happen again," he said, a hint of apology on his face, trying to soothe Xiaohei's anger. But inside, his heart was in turmoil. Why had this happened? And why had Xiaohei deliberately hidden it from him? "Can you have anything else in your eyes besides Luo Yao?" "I can't help it. Even knowing what's in that scene no longer exists, I couldn't stop myself from wanting to prevent it. You can forgive me, right? After all, you're the cutest cat in the world. Xiao Hei's eyes glinted, as if it had thought of something. Now we can go back, Xiao Hei said, a hint of excitement in its voice, seeming to have forgotten the earlier unpleasantness. Lin Ran nodded, clutching the note in his hand. The note held his promise to Luo Yao, something he could never forget. Xiao Hei walked over to Lin Ran and gave him a human-like smile. The smile looked a bit strange, leaving Lin Ran completely bewildered. What are you doing? Why are you smiling like that? Lin Ran asked, a sense of unease rising in his heart as he looked at Xiao Hei's odd smile. Xiao Hei didn't answer. It kicked Lin Ran and shouted, "Off you go, you big idiot!" Lin ran. He hadn't even figured out what was going on. Suddenly, a powerful, unknown force pushed Lin Ran out of the time-space like a surging tide. Lin Ran only saw a flash of light, and when he opened his eyes again, he was back in a cave. Xiao Hei, I can give you 1 minute at most. Xiao Hei's voice sounded in Lin Ran's mind, carrying an undeniable command. The familiar damp air still filled the cave. Luo Yao was still staring blankly at the air in front of her, her lonely figure looking particularly desolate in the dim cave. Luo Yao. At these two simple words, a light appeared in Luo Yao's eyes. I only have a minute. This is for you. It's a snack I made for you myself. You have to remember to eat your meals from now on, or you'll get stomach problems, Lin Ran said hurriedly. He took a beautiful box from his coat. It contained the pastries he had carefully prepared, but they had been misshapen by his backpack's backflip. Luo Yao still took in her hands, as if it were a treasure. And this is my own doll. If you miss me, you can hit it to vent. When we meet again, you can hit me. Remember, I will be waiting for you in the future, Lin Ran said, taking out a cute doll that resembled him. He stuffed the doll into Luo Yao's hands, his eyes full of reluctance to part. And this is the thing you like to use to restrain me when you want to conquer me. It's yours too. In the future, you can use it against me anytime. Luo Yao seemed to see a glimmer of hope. Her once dull eyes suddenly lit up. If she could lock Aaron up with this, she would be so happy. She threw herself into Lin Ran's arms. Luo Yao was like a child who had been lost in the dark for too long and had finally found a pillar of support. Lin Ran's heart ached for the little Luo Yao. He held her tightly, feeling her tremble, his heart filled with guilt. Remember your words. If you dare to lie to me in the future, I'll burn you to ashes, Luo Yao whispered in Lin Ran's arms. Although her voice carried a threat, it was more a sign of her dependence on him. As Luo Yao spoke, Lin Ran began to slowly fade away. His hand held Luo Yao's, and a note appeared in her hand as well. On the note was his promise to her, a testament to their bond across time, like an invisible thread connecting their hearts. This is my promise to you. Keep it safe. Just as Lin Ran was about to disappear, Luo Yao suddenly asked anxiously, "Do you love me?" Lin Ran, I do. Remember, one day, I will fall in love with you. The kind of love that's to die for. When Lin Ran opened his eyes again, he was at the manor. The manor was quiet. Sunlight streamed through the windows, casting patches of light on the floor. Thank goodness, Luo Yao didn't grow up with that loneliness and despair. Lin Ran was grateful for the 1 minute Xiao Hei had given him at the end, because that 1 minute was very important. Where was Xiao Hei? Just as Lin Ran was about to look for Xiao Hei, a hurried knock came at the door. Young Master Lin, are you there? Uncle Fu's voice came through, tinged with anxiety. Come in, Lin Ran called out. His voice was still a bit weak. Having just returned from the time tunnel, his body and spirit had not fully recovered. However, he was in much better shape than the last time he returned. Uncle Fu walked into the bedroom, anxiously. When he saw that Lin Ran was still there, he let out a long, visible sigh of relief, and his tense expression eased. Just now, Luo Yao had called to say that the signal from Lin Ran's tracker had disappeared, which had given Uncle Fu a scare. He was well aware of Lin Ran's importance to Luo Yao, and knew that if anything happened to Lin Ran, the entire manor would descend into chaos. He was afraid that Lin Ran might suddenly run away, which would mean his own life would be over, as his mission was to protect Lin Ran and Luo Yao. Meanwhile, Luo Yao, who was rushing back to the manor, also noticed that the location signal on her phone was back. Her heart, which had been as taut as a bowstring, relaxed a little. She quickly dialed Lin Ran's number. Yao Yao. Lin Ran answered the phone. Aaron, where are you? Luo Yao asked urgently, her voice trembling slightly, a sign of her fear after the close call. I'm at home. There was a moment of silence on the other end of the line. Then Luo Yao's voice came through. Wait for me at home. Don't you dare leave the manor. No, don't even leave the villa. Luo Yao's tone was an undeniable command. All she wanted now was for Lin Ran to be safe and sound. Okay, Lin Ran replied. He knew Luo Yao was worried about him, and he didn't want to make her worry anymore. After hanging up, Lin Ran chose to obey Luo Yao. He sat on the edge of the bed, a complex mix of emotions welling up inside him. He was so useless, always making Luo Yao worry. The greatest help he could offer was to not cause her trouble. Sigh, can't this useless version of me rage a little? He thought. He secretly resolved to become stronger in the future to protect Luo Yao. At this time, on the outskirts of the manor, a dozen people were hiding in the flower beds near the gate. They wore gray clothes that blended in with their surroundings, like a group of ghosts lurking in the dark. Boss, it's not easy to get in here. What should we do? One of them whispered, a hint of worry in his eyes. The few guards at the gate are very professional, and they're armed, another added. They all knew the danger of this mission. The man called Boss spoke coolly. We wait. Once we get word from Master, we'll begin the operation. His eyes were cold and determined, as if he had complete confidence in their plan. What if Master fails the mission? Are we really going to listen to that man? Impossible. Master is not only our master, but also that ingrate's master. How could a master lose to a disciple? Just then, a round object rolled over with a thump, thump, thump sound, which was particularly clear in the quiet night. The dozen or so men were all startled, their bodies instantly tensing like startled leopards. Looking closely, they gasped in shock. The round object was actually, your master has run out of chances. Luo Yao's voice was heard as her figure slowly emerged from the darkness, followed by a group of people holding tools for physical transcendence. Her eyes were as cold as frost, exuding an authority that sent shivers down one's spine. The dozen men stared at Luo Yao and the people behind her, their eyes filled with terror and disbelief. Luo Yao, you heartless woman, you even killed your own mentor? One of them shouted angrily, trying to attack Luo Yao with words to disrupt her composure. So much nonsense, Luo Yao replied coldly, her eyes showing no emotion, as if she were long accustomed to such accusations. Remember, leave them alive. Luo Yao's command echoed in the night sky with an undeniable authority. Once Luo Yao entered the manor, the others moved quickly, subduing all dozen men. Under the threat from the guns, these men had no way to resist. If it were a fight, they were confident they could take care of these guards with minimal cost. But now, no carbon-based life form stands a chance against the 7.62mm caliber round. They were like lambs to the slaughter, easily subdued by Luo Yao's people. Wang Bao and Xiao Tong exchanged a look and simultaneously ordered the guards. Check them for hidden poison and disarm them, Wang Bao said, his eyes wary. Instantly, the men were searched, their weapons confiscated. They were now completely Luo Yao's prisoners, left to quietly await their fate. Luo Yao returned to the villa and finally breathed a sigh of relief when she saw Lin Ran. Her constantly tense nerves finally relaxed. However, she suddenly felt a wave of dizziness. Aaron, before Luo Yao could finish, her body went limp like a puppet whose strings had been cut, and she collapsed. Lin Ran was shocked. He rushed over to support her. His eyes were filled with worry, and his heart pounded wildly. Lin Ran discovered that Luo Yao was injured. Blood was seeping through her clothes, staining a large area red. Who could possibly injure Luo Yao? You have to know, last time, even Luo Wuyo couldn't achieve this, even at the cost of his own life. Lin Ran's heart was filled with anger and worry. He carefully carried Luo Yao to the bed and began to meticulously care for her. Watching the sleeping Luo Yao, Lin Ran connected the present Luo Yao with the Luo Yao from his childhood. His heart filled with guilt. If he hadn't gone back, would things have been better for Luo Yao? But he didn't know that if he hadn't gone back, Luo Yao might have lost her motivation to move forward and given up completely. In the process of Luo Yao's growth, Lin Ran was her most solid driving force. Lin Ran fell into deep self-blame. Looking at Luo Yao's pale face, he secretly vowed to protect her well. The private doctor was also shocked when he received the news. Having worked at the manor for so long, he had seen maids get sick, the housekeeper poisoned, Lin Ran injured, all sorts of situations. But Luo Yao being injured, this was a first. He was well aware of Luo Yao's special status and the seriousness of the situation. Soon, Yisin arrived at Villa No. 1. He stood at the door, looking inside with some hesitation. Young Master Lin, I dare not treat President Luo. I've already called my sister. She'll be here in a little while. Please wait a bit longer. Yisin was worried about his own life. Luo Yao had androphobia, The only man by her side was Lin Ran, and of course, counting the housekeeper, that maid too. Apart from the bodyguards, all the staff in the manor were female, including the assistant team at Luo Corporation, not a single man. He didn't want to anger Luo Yao by entering rashly and bringing disaster upon himself. Lin Ran also understood Yin's concern. Seeing his hesitant yet fearful eyes, he understood that in this special environment, everyone was wary of Luo Yao's androphobia. A life is at stake. Are you really going to stand by and do nothing? Yin quickly shook his head. No. I've checked President Luo's complexion. She's not in any immediate danger for now. But if I see the wound, I'll be the one in mortal danger. Hearing Yin say that Luo Yao was not in mortal danger, Lin Ran felt a little relieved. Then you all can leave for now, Lin Ran said softly, his voice particularly low in the quiet room. Yin, as if granted amnesty, quickly retreated with the others, leaving only Lin Ran and the unconscious Luo Yao in the room. After everyone had left, Lin Ran took a deep breath, his hands trembling slightly as he gently unbuttoned Luo Yao's clothes. Every movement was careful, as if he were handling the most precious treasure in the world, afraid of hurting her by accident. When he saw the shocking wounds, Lin Ran's heart ached so much he couldn't breathe. His eyes instantly turned red. The wounds, crisscrossing and deep enough to see bone, some still bleeding, were like hideous gashes carved into Luo Yao's fair skin. It was hard to imagine how Luo Yao had managed to return to his side in such a severely injured state. Although the wounds had been cleaned with water, the bumpy journey had caused them to tear open again. Blood had clotted at the edges of the wounds, only to be broken by fresh blood. The shocking red color stung Lin Ran's eyes. Luo Yao, did you know? I saw you again. You were so cute, even as a child. If I could, I would really want to bear your suffering for you. In fact, on the path of life, perhaps we are each other's salvation. As he gently stroked Luo Yao's scars with a trembling hand, Lin Ran softly spoke his heart's thoughts. His voice was choked with sobs, every word filled with deep love and endless heartache for Luo Yao. His eyes were full of tenderness, as if wanting to convey all his emotions to Luo Yao through his gaze. Just like that, Lin Ran stayed by Luo Yao's side, pouring out his heart, until Yin's sister arrived at the villa. Only then did Lin Ran come to his senses. He quickly helped Luo Yao put on her clothes and then let them in. Yin introduced her. Young Master Lin, this is my sister, Yin's. Her medical skills are no worse than mine. Let her take a look at President Luo. Yin's tone was filled with pride. He was very confident in his sister's medical skills. Lin Ran nodded at Yin's, his eyes full of anticipation and trust. In his heart, doctors were a sacred profession, like angels who could save lives and alleviate pain. Yin's naturally knew the identity of the woman before her. She didn't dare to be the slightest bit careless. Walking to Luo Yao's bedside, she first carefully observed Luo Yao's complexion and expression, then began a thorough examination of her body, inside and out. She was a master of traditional Chinese medicine, and her skills, if not at their peak, were at least highly accomplished. Her slender fingers rested gently on Luo Yao's wrist, feeling the pulse. Her brow furrowed slightly, a hint of gravity in her eyes. Looking at Luo Yao's wounds, they were all superficial. Logically, she shouldn't be in such a serious condition. She took her pulse again, this time more focused. After a while, her brow furrowed even tighter. Miss Luo has suffered superficial wounds, but looking at the shape of the wounds, they look a bit like animal claw marks. Fortunately, they're not fatal. Logically, she shouldn't be in such a long sleep. Gouge was said softly, her voice echoing with a hint of confusion in the quiet room. Lin Ran quickly asked, Animal claws? How could there be a wild beast in the city? So what's wrong with Yao Yao now? His eyes were filled with anxiety as he stared at Gouge, hoping for an answer. Gouge carefully took her pulse for a while longer before saying, Based on my experience, she suffered a sudden flare-up of anger while her body was weak, which led to a blockage in her heart meridians. That's why she's unconscious. This symptom is not a problem as long as she is properly cared for, but as for what's on her mind, I'm afraid only she herself would know. You're a doctor, don't you know? Lin Ran asked a bit anxiously, his heart filled with worry, hoping to find a way to wake Luo Yao up. Gouge, you know I'm just a doctor, not a fortune teller. I can't see what caused the young lady's flare-up of anger. Gouge shook her head helplessly. Although her medical skills were superb, she was not omnipotent. Ibu Hua applied the Yi family's exclusive golden wound plaster to Luo Yao's wounds and also prescribed some medicine to disperse blood stasis. Since it was Chinese medicine, the manor had it, and Uncle Fu personally fetched the herbs. Uncle Fu had extremely high standards for the quality of medicinal herbs. Every single ingredient was carefully selected. After the herbal soup was brewed, Luo Yao still hadn't woken up, and it had been brewing for several hours. Lin Ran stood guard by the bed, his eyes never leaving Luo Yao for a moment. He carefully helped Luo Yao up, scooped a spoonful of the herbal soup with a spoon, and gently brought it to her lips, trying to get her to drink it. But Luo Yao showed no sign of swallowing, and the soup trickled down the corner of her mouth. Lin Ran frowned, his heart burning with anxiety. He thought for a moment, and suddenly came up with a good idea. So, he gently took a sip of the herbal soup and then fed it to Luo Yao. This act was full of love. He just wanted Luo Yao to get well soon. Sure enough, with Lin Ran's medicine, Luo Yao slowly opened her eyes. Her lips happened to touch Lin Ran's, a face-to-face critical hit. Lin Ran's face instantly turned red. He was a bit embarrassed, but more so, he was happy. "Aaron," Luo Yao called out weakly, her voice like the sound of heaven to Lin Ran's ears. Lin Ran was clearly overjoyed. He quickly asked, "Yao Yao, how are you feeling?" I was feeding you medicine. You're injured." Lin Ran was a bit incoherent, his eyes filled with concern for Luo Yao. "Luo Yao, Aaron, I didn't mean to get hurt. I'm sorry." There was a hint of guilt in Luo Yao's eyes. She didn't want Lin Ran to worry about her. Lin Ran had told her not to get hurt. Lin Ran was stunned. Countless emotions instantly flooded the softest part of his heart. He looked at Luo Yao's apologetic eyes, filled with emotion and heartache. He felt that Luo Yao was changing more and more, from that strong and fearless girl to someone more gentle and delicate. This change made him wonder if Luo Yao was pretending. "Yao Yao, remember, never say sorry. I'll say to you what you once said to me. If you die, I will follow you," Lin Ran said, holding Luo Yao's hand tightly. He looked at her with a determined gaze, as if promising that no matter what happened, he would never leave her. Looking at her man, Luo Yao's eyes sparkled with emotion. She still felt that all of this was so unreal, as if she were in a dream. So, she pinched Lin Ran hard. Lin Ran let out a hiss of pain. "It's real, it's all real. Yao Yao, is there anything bothering you?" Lin Ran asked, enduring the pain, hoping to share Luo Yao's burden. Luo Yao fell silent in an instant, her eyes a bit evasive, as if hesitating whether to tell Lin Ran. After a while, she slowly spoke. "Your tracker." The signal disappeared for a while. Luo Yao said softly, a hint of unease in her eyes. Lin Ran was stunned. Was this the reason for Luo Yao's sudden flare-up of anger? He felt a little guilty, not expecting that a small issue of his would cause Luo Yao so much worry. Were you worried because of that? Maybe there was no signal in some places. Impossible. The signal network in the manor is the best in the world. Even if you hid in a well, it would be impossible to have no signal. Even the satellites that track you, I'll launch them myself," Luo Yao said firmly. She had great confidence in the manor's security and signal system. Lin Ran was immediately stunned, his eyes wide with astonishment. "Holy cow, you launch satellites just for me? Wow. Who am I to receive such high-level treatment? Good heavens, that's my wife for you. But I really don't know. Maybe the tracker is broken. Why don't you take it out and check it?" Lin Ran said helplessly, also confused by the sudden situation. Luo Yao didn't speak, but quietly looked into Lin Ran's eyes, trying to see if he was lying. After a long while, she was certain he wasn't, but this only made her more confused. The tracker couldn't be broken. It was the most advanced equipment with multiple safeguards. Even if there was a problem with the tracker, it was impossible for the audio recorder and the phone to lose signal at the same time. So the problem was still with Lin Ran. Did he have a signal jammer? Impossible. If he had a signal jammer, she would definitely have been alerted. Luo Yao was also a bit confused and could only attribute it to signal fluctuations, although this explanation was a bit far-fetched. "Yao Yao, do you remember you promised me we would face everything together? You broke your promise," Lin Ran said with some grievance. He didn't know why Luo Yao was injured, but he was indeed a little unhappy. Luo Yao always wanted to bear everything herself, but Lin Ran really wanted to face it with her. He didn't want to be a protected object. He also wanted to be Luo Yao's support. "Aaron, Luo Yao lowered her head in guilt. "Don't say it. I'm not blaming you. I just want to tell you that if there's danger, I want to face it with you. Even if I can't help you much, I can stand behind you and watch you move forward or retreat. Lin Ran looked at Luo Yao, his eyes full of sincerity. Don't forget the promise we made together. Lin Ran's voice was tinged with tenderness, hoping Luo Yao would understand his heart. Luo Yao felt her inner world becoming more diverse, as if every heartbeat was because of Lin Ran. His words were like a fire, igniting the warm flame in her heart, making her feel incredibly at ease. Remember, Aaron, I don't like the tone you just used with me. Your commanding attitude makes me very unhappy, Luo Yao said, pretending to be angry, a cunning glint in her eyes. Lin Ran felt a chill run down his spine. He knew Luo Yao was about to mess with him again. So, Lin Ran asked cautiously, Luo Yao, so, I plan to teach you a lesson. For example, like this. With that, Luo Yao suddenly bit Lin Ran's shoulder. Her mouth was filled with the taste of blood, but she didn't dislike it because it was Lin Ran's. She had countless times wanted to possess Lin Ran, but couldn't find him. She could only fantasize that if one day she met him, she must always have his taste. That's why she liked to bite Lin Ran, to bury her head in his chest, to always breathe in his scent. This made Luo Yao feel that Lin Ran was always by her side. What she needed was this kind of reality. What was Luo Yao most afraid of? Lin Ran desperately trying to escape, or suddenly disappearing. But now, neither of these existed. Instead, Lin Ran had become fond of her, clingy to her, and had fallen in love with her. This was very satisfying for Luo Yao. She loved this feeling. Yao Yao, who injured you? Luo Yao was silent for a moment before saying, to be precise, an eagle scratched me. What eagle is so fierce that it could scratch you? Luo Yao, an eagle that kills. Lin Ran frowned. He seemed to have encountered such an eagle somewhere. Aaron, I want to eat your cooking. Huh? Okay, I'll go cook for you. You rest here and recover. Don't get out of bed, okay? Luo Yao's lips curved into a smile, an arc of happiness. Okay, I'll listen to Aaron. The next day, at Lin Ran's strong insistence, Luo Yao stayed at the manor to recuperate. The manor was bathed in bright sunshine, adding a touch of spring to the cold season, as if everything was celebrating Luo Yao's recovery. Today was also the day the short drama was released. Lin Ran and Luo Yao lay on the sofa in the villa, ready to watch it together. Lin Ran was full of anticipation, confident in the short drama he had helped produce. Luo Yao, on the other hand, looked indifferent. She had no interest in the drama Lin Ran had filmed, thinking, what could these people possibly create? In her eyes, it was just a way for a man to pass the time. But because she enjoyed spending time with Lin Ran, she watched along. At first, Luo Yao was only watching perfunctorily, but as she watched, she realized something was wrong. This, it's so cheesy, but I love it. Although the plot was somewhat cliché, it had a unique charm. The actors' performances weren't brilliant, but they were strangely captivating. Every plot point seemed to have a magical pull, drawing her in. The more she watched, the more hooked she became. Even someone as cold as Luo Yao was drawn into what Lin Ran had created. If even a detached person like Luo Yao was hooked, one could only imagine how the netizens across the country would react. In fact, from the very beginning of the day, people had flocked to watch it. But it wasn't a nationwide phenomenon yet. Many who had pre-registered did so because of the hype, but they didn't have high hopes for the content. Because Lin Ran was rich, and in the public's impression, things created by the very wealthy often fell short of expectations. Moreover, Nuanyo Media had no filming experience. The short drama's only support was the super-list star Chen Xingtian and the hype around the Nuanyo Group's boss. People who came for the hype naturally wouldn't have high expectations for the content. Dreaming of Lin Ran as my simp. Let's just watch it casually. I bet the content is garbage. Whose bull isn't brave? I'm here to check in. I want to see Lin Ran's luxurious manor. Handsome novelist. Here to see the manor too. And by the way, to gaze upon Sister Qing Tian's divine beauty. National football team's son has improved. How come male lead seems completely unworthy of Sister Qing Tian? Rebirth. The fourth son's dealership ran away. I hate the trash produced by Capital the most. But as time went on, the direction of the bullet comments took a complete U-turn. Everyone discovered that this short drama, with no other stars besides Chen Xingtian, exploded like an atomic bomb, teaching everyone a lesson on the spot and stunning those who had looked down on it. The view count for the first 3 episodes jumped from tens of thousands to several million. By noon, the views had broken 10 million. Online comments poured in like a flood. Tiger descends the mountain to bang on the door. Ah, damn. Update it. What is Nuanyo Media doing? This is too addictive. Screaming neighbor. I admit my voice was a little too loud at the beginning. Now I just want to say, I'm a tasteless pleb, and I love it. Update now. I failed in this life too. Damn, this is a short drama? The production is rough, but the content is too addictive. I love it. Mad dog bites your little J.J. Only 3 episodes a day? Even a dog can't stand it. Mr. Chow's Red Chamber Literature. I have a suggestion. Tie the person in charge to a saw table. For every episode updated, move them 1 meter away from the saw. If the update speed slows down, just tear them to shreds. No, that's not right. Just talk nonsense. Stick pokes the sun. If you don't update 100 episodes a day, what kind of producers are you? Trash. Regardless of whether the comments online were curses or praise, at least the popularity was unprecedented. Other media companies that produced serious short dramas were deeply shaken. They never imagined a short drama could be filmed this way. This novel format and captivating content made them feel immense pressure. Just then, Lin Ran's call went straight to the Nuanyo media office. Hello, this is Lin Ran. What is your CEO Wu doing? Why isn't he answering his phone? The young woman who answered the phone quickly explained in a low voice. Director Lin, CEO Wu's phone number was leaked. It's been ringing off the hook all morning. He's just muted his phone. The woman's voice was a bit helpless. She was also troubled by this sudden situation. Lin Ran was taken aback, instantly understanding the reason. He knew the short drama was popular, but he hadn't expected it to be this popular. All right then, go tell him to send me the entire content of the short drama. My wife wants to watch it. Who can get by on just this little bit of update a day? Lin Ran said. He just wanted to satisfy his wife's curiosity. What is wrong with that? The customer service girl was stunned, then mumbled, Director Lin, you're not the one leading the charge with all the angry comments, are you? The girl was suspicious. Lin Ran's request was somewhat similar to those of the frantic netizens. Lin Ran's face darkened. I'm not that bored. My wife just wants to watch it. Go arrange it quickly. Lin Ran was a bit helpless. He didn't want to be mistaken for that kind of unreasonable audience member. Director Lin, isn't that a bit inappropriate? You'll think it's appropriate when I fire you. Okay, Director Lin. But CEO Wu said that not even the Jade Emperor gets special treatment. Lin Ran was genuinely angry. As the boss, did he not even have this little privilege? You're really stubborn, kid. Go tell Wu Zhishang right now that I'm the one asking. I'd like to see if he gives me this privilege or not. Okay, Director Lin. The girl quickly replied and went to convey Lin Ran's instructions. At this moment, in his office, Wu Zhishang was not annoyed by his phone being blown up. On the contrary, he was ecstatic. He sat at his desk, his face beaming with excitement. With this level of popularity for the short drama, he wouldn't care even if 10 of his phones were smoking. The popularity had taken off too fiercely. The profits were simply immeasurable. Although it was free, the intangible benefits were incalculable. He had just done a rough calculation, and the advertising revenue alone was already a fortune. With this wave of popularity, Nuanyo Group might be able to squeeze into the ranks of second-tier media companies. This was a huge achievement for him. Moreover, at least 2 major brands had already approached him about endorsement deals this morning. This was an excellent opportunity for the company's development. As the short drama exploded in popularity, he became famous too. The number of endorsement requests for him was second only to Chun Qingtian. There were also requests for Zhang Xiaolong and others. But Wu Zhishang had refused them all, because the endorsements were all very bizarre. Chun Qingtian's were fine, mostly women's products. As for him, Wu Zhishang, he was getting offers for things like skin toner, condoms, hemorrhoid cream, athlete's foot socks, and even one that wanted him to endorse women's clothing. The most infuriating one was a request for him to endorse a crooked mouth device. These advertisements left him not knowing whether to laugh or cry. They were simply too absurd. CEO Wu, Director Lin, just called and said to send him the entire short drama. The customer service girl said as she entered the office. Tell him to wait for the updates. Don't think he can get special treatment just because he's the boss. But the customer service girl hesitated, her eyes full of reluctance. No buts. What? Is Director Lin any different from other viewers? Remember, our company's rule is to treat everyone equally. Not even the Jade Emperor himself gets special treatment. Wu Zhishang said sternly, his brow furrowed, while his hands never stopped moving between documents and the computer, his focused expression making it seem as if he were handling the most important matters in the world. The customer service girl, hearing this, nodded obediently like a docile lamb and turned to leave. Before she left, she didn't forget to mutter under her breath, All right, I'll go tell Director Lin to have the boss's wife wait for the updates. Hey, wait a minute. I've thought about it, and I think we should just send it to him. After all, he's the boss, and we rely on him for our salaries, right? His speech was rapid, with a hint of panic. The girl stopped, an awkward but polite smile on her face. To cover his own embarrassment, Wu Zhishang coughed twice and continued to explain, Director Lin is the big boss of our company. His opinion is very important. The company wouldn't be where it is today without Director Lin's contributions. We can't offend him over such a small matter. The girl, after hearing this, nodded in strong agreement, her head bobbing like a chick pecking at rice. CEO Wu is right. Besides, the chairman's wife is Luo Yao. The Jade Emperor may not come, but she really could come over and kill us. Hearing this, Wu Zhishang couldn't help but give an awkward smile, the image of Luo Yao sending him to meet his maker with a single slash flashing in his mind. He knew that if he angered Luo Yao, he would truly be at the end of his rope. You're quite perceptive. Never mind, I'll handle this myself. Wu Zhishang didn't quite trust his employee's efficiency, as this matter couldn't afford any mistakes. Just as Wu Zhishang was preparing to package the remaining content for Lin Ran, someone from the HR department came to find him. CEO Wu, there's someone outside applying for the position of president's assistant. Her resume is quite impressive. Wu Zhishang had been racking his brain recently to find a suitable assistant. He had hired several before, but none were satisfactory. Those people either completely failed to understand his intentions, as if they were communicating on different channels, lacking any of the rapport he had with Lin Ran, making work a bumpy ride. Worse still, some were there just to flirt, their minds not on their work at all. Wu Zhishang's ideal assistant was someone like Lu Meng, who could do everything, was meticulous, and could handle all the trivial matters in an orderly fashion. All right, let him in. I'll conduct the interview, Wu Zhishang said, straightening his collar and sitting up straight, ready to meet the new applicant. As a woman entered, Wu Zhishang was taken aback, a flicker of surprise in his eyes. Zhang Xinyan, it's me. Zhang Xinyan's voice was clear and firm. She slightly raised her chin, a complex look in her eyes. Wu Zhishang frowned, a hint of confusion and vigilance in his eyes. Looking at the woman who had had a past conflict with him at Luo Corporation, his heart couldn't help but stir. What? Couldn't make it at Luo Corporation, so you came to me? Wu Zhishang's words were blunt and laced with sarcasm. But Zhang Xinyan wore a polite smile. She had a particular trait. Wherever she fell, she would get back up. And the way to get back up was to first infiltrate the enemy's ranks. To her, Lin Ran was her enemy, and so was Wu Zhishang. If it weren't for these two, she might not have been fired from Luo Corporation. So now, she wanted to conspire with the tiger to get its cub. This time, she would reclaim everything she had lost here. That's right. Because of you and Director Lin, I was fired from Luo Corporation. I can only try my luck here, Zhang Xinyan said with a hint of grievance, as if she were an innocent victim. What nonsense are you talking about? Blaming the toilet when you can't shit. Halfway through, Wu Zhishang felt the metaphor was a bit inappropriate. So he changed it to, clearly your own leg has a problem, but you blame the ground for being uneven? You were fired because of your own issues. Don't push the blame on us. Also, I can't afford to hire someone like you. Look for a better prospect elsewhere. Wu Zhishang refused without hesitation. He was not an impulsive person, nor would he make trouble for someone because of small past friction with Zhang Xinyan. And although Zhang Xinyan was someone Luo Corporation had let go, he was also clear that with her abilities, she could be competent as an assistant in any other company. The reason Wu Zhishang refused was because he didn't dare to hire her. This was someone his own sister-in-law had fired. If he hired her, wouldn't he be openly opposing his sister-in-law? Wu Zhishang could now discern a bit of Luo Yao's character. What was hers she could throw away, but others couldn't pick it up. Please give me a valid reason. In what way do I not meet your recruitment standards? If not, then I can only assume you're carrying out a personal vendetta and abusing your power, Zhang Xinyan said, raising an eyebrow, her gaze becoming sharp as she argued her case. Wu Zhishang was stunned and became angry on the spot. Just by the fact that I am the president of this company, I have the right to decide who stays and who doesn't. You want an explanation? I'll explain my. Are you worthy? But Zhang Xinyan did not back down. She took a step forward. I don't accept it. So if you can't give me a valid reason, I will expose you. I'm not afraid of making a big deal out of this. Let's see how you handle it then. Damn, you're going to expose me? Who do you think you are to expose me? You expose me. Then I'll give you a chance. To avoid conflict with her and also to make her back down, Wu Zhishang prepared to give her a seemingly legitimate but difficult task. You want to stay at Nuanya, right? I'll give you a task. If you can complete it, I'll hire you. Even if my brother Lin beats me to death, I'll protect you, Wu Zhishang said with a wicked smile. What's the requirement? In 24 hours, write me a short drama script of over 50,000 words. Zhang Xinyan's eyes widened in disbelief. I'm just an assistant, not an editor or a writer. This is not something an assistant should do at all. You're deliberately making things difficult for me. I don't care. My assistant must be all round. If you can't do it, you can get lost. Wu Zhishang crossed his arms, his expression unyielding. Zhang Xinyan gritted her teeth and said, no one in the world can do that. Even if you write without thinking, it's impossible to finish a 50,000-word script in 24 hours. This is an impossible task. You're just messing with me. Wu Zhishang, that's your problem, not mine. Believe it or not, I can find someone who can do it. Who? Zhang Xinyan asked doubtfully. Tom has no fur. Tom has no fur. Get lost, I can't do it. I can't even do 10,000 words. Wu Zhishang, fine, but someone can. You can't even write a script in 24 hours. What kind of assistant are you applying to be? Hearing Wu Zhishang so determined to make her complete this impossible task, Zhang Xinyan was filled with helplessness and grievance. But she steeled herself and said through clenched teeth, fine, I'll take it. A look of determination flashed in her eyes. She decided to accept this challenge. Even if there was only a sliver of hope, she didn't want to give up easily. Then get to it. You only have 23 hours and 58 minutes left, Wu Zhishang said, glancing at his watch. Zhang Xinyan left with a heart full of grievance, her figure looking a bit lonely and desolate, like a small bird struggling in a storm. Meanwhile, Wu Zhishang, having finished his temporary work, leaned back leisurely in his boss's chair, tilting his body back and enjoying the pleasure that power brought. The slight upturn of his lips seemed to narrate his success. He was pleased with himself for successfully giving Zhang Xinyan a difficult problem. Solve it so easily. I really am a genius, Wu Zhishang muttered to himself, a smug smile on his face. Just as Wu Zhishang was indulging in his self-satisfaction, the phone rang abruptly. The sharp ringtone was like a sharp blade cutting through a calm lake. Wu Zhishang picked up the phone. A cold voice came from the other end. Wu Zhishang, do you want to live or die? The voice was like an ice blade in the dead of winter, stabbing straight at Wu Zhishang. Wu Zhishang was momentarily stunned, stammering, Brother Lin, I was just taking a break. Do you have to be so dramatic about life and death? Aren't workers human too? Workers are masters of men, but if you don't send me that short drama, you won't be a man for much longer. Damn it, I forgot. Right away. Wu Zhishang suddenly remembered the matter. It was all Zhang Xinyan's fault for disrupting his train of thought. He cursed himself for being careless while scrambling to prepare the files. He immediately tried to send the short drama to Lin Ran, but the file was too large to be sent directly. He thought about uploading it to a cloud drive, but was afraid of leaks. He was about to ask an assistant to personally deliver it to Lin Ran, but then he remembered that Luo Yao didn't like other women getting close to Lin Ran. He thought about sending a man instead, but then he remembered Lin Ran had said Luo Yao had androphobia. For a moment, Wu Zhishang was in a real dilemma, beads of sweat forming on his forehead. In the end, with no other choice, he had to deliver it himself. And Lin Ran, having received the complete short drama, lay in bed with Luo Yao watching it. They slept when they were tired, got busy when they woke up, ate after they were done, and then watched again. It was as if this was their happiest time, with no outside disturbances, only each other. Just as Lin Ran had almost lost track of time, Luo Yao received a call from Lu Meng and then sighed softly. Aaron, I have to go to the company tomorrow to discuss something. I'll go with you, but you go first. I'll make lunch and then come over, Lin Ran said, gently stroking Luo Yao's hair, his eyes full of love. Lin Ran had now completely transformed into a paladin of pure love. His future could only belong to Luo Yao, a true belonging with no coercion. He was willing to do anything for Luo Yao. Okay, Luo Yao smiled and nodded, her smile as beautiful and moving as a flower blooming in spring. The next day, Luo Yao arrived at Luo Corporation. Although she was injured, she was still like a queen descending, and all who saw her bowed their heads. Lin Ran stayed at the manor because he had one more thing to do. That was Xiaohei. After returning this time, he didn't know how Xiaohei was doing and hadn't seen it yet. After all, it was injured and stabbed by his own wife at that. He had to show some concern. Lin Ran felt a bit of guilt in his heart. He felt he had a responsibility to check on Xiaohei's condition. Sure enough, Lin Ran saw the black shadow in the sky garden. Xiaohei was lying there quietly, like a black ghost. Meow. Xiaohei saw Lin Ran and let out a cry that seemed to carry a hint of grievance. Xiaohei, on behalf of Luo Yao, I apologize. You must remember the promise you made to me. Lin Ran said sincerely. Xiaohei, so, the reason you're apologizing to me is still for your Luo Yao. A hint of dissatisfaction and confusion showed in Xiaohei's eyes. What else? Isn't that how it should be? Lin Ran retorted. He felt it was only natural. In his heart, Luo Yao's position was irreplaceable. Even if you die, it's just a cat's life. It won't even break the law. If my wife dies, I couldn't bear it. With your 37-degree body temperature, how can you say such cold words? Lin Ran let out a burst of laughter. I'm just kidding. I'm not that heartless, he said, laughing, his tone as light as if he were discussing a funny anecdote. Do I look like I want to laugh? Xiaohei glanced at Lin Ran disdainfully, its eyes looking at him as if he were a naive child, full of contempt, its tail flicking impatiently. Lin Ran stopped laughing and sat down next to Xiaohei with a hint of ingratiation. He reached out and gently stroked Xiaohei's smooth, silk-like black fur, again and again, his movements gentle and soothing. A hint of guilt showed in his eyes. The events that had occurred on this trip had indeed wronged Xiaohei. He knew in his heart that he owed Xiaohei for this. Then tell me, what will it take for you to let go of your prejudice? Xiaohei looked at Lin Ran with a human-like smile. First, do a backflip for me. Lin Ran was instantly astonished. You hold such a grudge? But he didn't want to offend Xiaohei, Luo Yao's guarantee, so he gritted his teeth. Fine, no problem. As Lin Ran began to attempt a backflip, his movements were nothing short of disastrous. His body was crooked and uncoordinated, like a manipulated puppet tumbling about randomly. Each attempt was so comical that the air around him seemed to become awkward due to his actions. Xiaohei finally couldn't watch anymore. Stop. If you can't perform, just forget it. If you get injured again, I'll definitely be hunted down and killed by Luo Yao. So now, you're not angry anymore, are you? What did I say? I was angry. Xiaohei glanced at Lin Ran arrogantly, its tail slightly raised, and continued to walk forward a couple of steps with its elegant cat-like gait. Lin Ran let out a long sigh. A huge weight finally lifted from his heart. It's good that you're not angry, he said, scratching his head with a simple, honest smile. Xiaohei glanced at Lin Ran again. Are you going to ask when I'll take you back again? Lin Ran shook his head, his gaze turning serious. I'm just genuinely concerned about you. After all, if you die of anger, my death exemption token guarantee would be gone. And I haven't decided on my third wish yet, so I won't be making a wish for now. Lin Ran recalled his meeting with the young Luo Yao, still feeling a lingering fear. I feel like my sudden appearance might have brought some negative emotions to Luo Yao. I can't go back to her childhood again. So, I need to think carefully about my third wish. As he spoke, he fell into deep thought, Luo Yao's face appearing in his mind. She was the person he cared about most, and he didn't want to cause her any harm through his own recklessness. After hearing this, Xiaohei jumped off the steps and slowly walked away with its elegant cat-like gait, its posture as light as if it were dancing. Then I'll be going. We can talk when you've made up your mind. Lin Ran quickly stood up. Hey, don't go. I even have a gift for you that I haven't given you yet. Hearing this, Xiaohei ran even faster, as swift as a black lightning bolt, disappearing in the blink of an eye, as if something terrifying was chasing it. Lin Ran shook his head helplessly, a bitter smile on his face as he looked at the tracker in his hand. He looked up at the sky. The sun was already high, adding a touch of warmth to the cold winter. Considering Luo Yao's stomach problems, he decided to go and cook some porridge and make a meal first. The Luo Corporation building was a hive of activity. The preliminary cooperation agreement between Luo Corporation and the Samsung Chaebol had basically been reached, and the entire conference room was filled with a tense yet excited atmosphere. As the top Chaebol in Korea, the Samsung Chaebol attached great importance to this cooperation. This partnership was a crucial opportunity for them to re-enter the Chinese market, and it concerned the future development of the entire Chaebol. They sent their most capable representative, full of sincerity. However, Luo Corporation was even more ruthless. They took a hard line at the negotiating table, proposing terms that made the people from the Samsung Chaebol gasp. You want to come? Fine, but all profits must be left behind. Such a demand was almost unheard of in business cooperation. Logically, no one would agree to it. It was practically treating the Samsung Chaebol as a money-making tool. But the Samsung exec this time really had some guts. This representative was none other than the second wife of the current head of the Samsung Chaebol, who was also a senior executive of the group, named Qian Shang. She was dressed in a high-end professional suit, the tailored outfit accentuating her graceful figure, every detail exuding luxury and nobility. She always wore a confident smile, her eyes revealing a sharp and decisive nature. President Luo, I hope we can have a pleasant cooperation, Qian Yinshang said with a broad smile, extending her hand, trying to use her affability to ease the slightly tense atmosphere. Luo Yao did not shake her hand. She just gave Qian Yinshang a cold glance, her eyes as frosty as a winter's day, without a trace of warmth. Then she turned and left without another word. For Luo Yao, this cooperation was just one move in a business game. Whether she could cooperate with Samsung was not important at all. She had a series of very ruthless measures waiting for them. You, Samsung, see the future trend in Korea and want to come to China for a better living environment? Do you think Luo Yao can't see it? Samsung was never her friend. In her eyes, although they seemed to be cooperating now, it was only a matter of time before they would tear each other apart. So, this superficial friendliness was meaningless, and shaking hands was even more superfluous. Her mind was now filled with thoughts of going back to the office and waiting for Lin Ran to feed her. That was what truly made her happy. Qian Yinshang awkwardly withdrew her hand, her smile frozen on her face, a flicker of imperceptible anger in her eyes. But she quickly suppressed her emotions. She knew that compared to the woman in front of her, she was nothing. This was the first Chable's young lady, and unlike the internally complex Samsung Chable, in Luo Corporation, Luo Yao had absolute power and was a one-woman show. Seeing this, a Luo Corporation executive quickly stepped forward and politely invited Qian Yinshang to lunch, trying to alleviate the awkward situation. Only then did Qian Yinshang show a smile again, nodding and following the executive away. Just then, her assistant hurried over to report. President Qian, the second young master has disappeared again. The assistant's voice was a bit anxious. He knew the second young master was always playful and a handful. Qian Yinshang, however, didn't seem to care. She waved her hand and said casually, "Don't worry about him. Since we're in China, let him go wherever he wants to play." In her view, this cooperation was the top priority. As long as her son didn't cause any major trouble, a little fun was fine. Yes, the assistant replied and retreated. At this time, Luo Yao, who had already reached her office, sat on the comfortable sofa, a look of impatience in her eyes. She really wanted to see Lin Ran as soon as possible. Even being apart for just a few hours was unbearable. "Lu Meng, come with me downstairs to wait for Aaron," Luo Yao said, getting up and walking towards the door. Lu Meng was slightly taken aback. But when she saw the eager look in Luo Yao's eyes, she immediately replied, "Yes." On a main road, not far from the Luo Corporation office building, an extremely luxurious supercar was parked. Its cool design and shiny metallic luster were particularly dazzling in the sun, causing many passersby to stop and take pictures. The supercar was like a beast ready to pounce, exuding a captivating charm. Two people were sitting in the car, laughing and talking. "President, look at these Chinese girls. It's like they've never seen anything grand, but their looks are absolutely stunning. Every face is like a meticulously carved work of art, making you want to take a second look," said the assistant of Park Guk-chong, the second young master of the Samsung Chable. He looked at Park Guk-chong with a fawning expression, his eyes revealing a craving for Chinese women. This man, called President, was Park Guk-chong, the second young master of the Korean Chable Samsung. He had come to China with his mother this time. His mother was Qian Yinshang. She hadn't brought him along when she was negotiating with Luo Corporation because the person she was meeting was too important, and her son was not yet qualified to participate in such a high-level meeting. So, the bored Park Guk-chong was wandering around Kyoto with an assistant. He drove his supercar through the city streets, enjoying the envious gazes of passersby, like a butterfly flitting among flowers, looking for new thrills. He wandered until he came here, where the bustling crowd caught their attention. The assistant said thoughtfully, "President, you can rest assured. I will definitely find you two extremely beautiful Chinese girls tonight. This is actually really simple in China. All you have to do is drive this $50 million sports car around for a bit, and those girls will basically be enchanted with no resistance at all," the assistant said, a confident smile on his face, as if he could already see Park Guk-chong with a woman on each arm. As Park Guk-chong listened, a rakish smile gradually appeared on his face, a smile with a hint of wickedness. Although I've never been a fan of women who are too materialistic, it's fine if it's just for fun." His tone was filled with the arrogance of a rich young master. In his eyes, these Chinese women were just objects for his amusement. Park Guk-chong slowly closed his eyes, a playful curve on his lips, his mind filled with images of spending the night with beautiful women. The images made his heart beat faster. Just then, "President, look, there's a super beautiful woman up ahead." The assistant suddenly shouted excitedly, his voice full of excitement, as if he had discovered a new continent. Hearing this, Park Guk-chang immediately opened his eyes like an alert leopard, his eyes shining with excitement. He quickly cast his gaze over, and with one glance, he saw the legendary beauty. He was instantly stunned, a strong sense of shock welling up in his heart. She really was a top-tier beauty. He considered himself to have seen his fair share of women, whether they were local socialites or foreign stars. He had been with many. But such a devastatingly beautiful existence still left him in awe, as if the whole world had brightened up at that moment. The woman was like a beam of light shining into his dark world, instantly making him lose the ability to think, his eyes only filled with her beautiful figure. "I must spend tonight with this beauty," Park Guk-chang said, a cunning glint in his eyes and a confident smile on his lips. His eyes burned with the fire of desire, as if he had already claimed the woman as his own. "You get out of the car first. Later, help me film the process of my date with the girl. I can slowly savor it when I go back to Korea. If possible, I'm taking this girl with me," Park Guk-chang said, looking at his assistant with anticipation, as if he could already see the beautiful future. His heart pounded with excitement. "All right, President." The assistant got out of the car nimbly and turned on his phone camera, ready to record this wonderful hunt. And Park Guk-chang, unable to wait, started the supercar. The engine roared, vroom, 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 exploding in the street like thunder. Then he slammed on the gas, a handsome drift, and the car, like a nimble leopard, came to a steady stop in front of the woman. The tires screeched against the ground, kicking up a cloud of dust. Luo Yao's brow furrowed involuntarily, a flash of disgust in her eyes. She hadn't expected to encounter such a boring person right outside her company building. The anger in her heart began to burn. And at that moment, the passers-by were also attracted by this sudden scene and gathered around curiously. The crowd grew larger and larger. Everyone wanted to see what the person in the luxury sports car was up to. "Wow, what kind of car is this? I've never seen it before. It must be worth several million, right?" "Several million? You're too naive," another person scoffed. He considered himself knowledgeable about luxury cars and couldn't help but want to show off his knowledge. "This is one of the most expensive supercars, the SSC Tuatara. Its top speed can reach 443 km/h. It's rare to see one not just in Kyoto, but in all of China. The price is at least 50 million. His voice was loud, and everyone around heard him clearly. Hearing this, the crowd showed even more surprise and began to discuss among themselves. 50 million? My God, I'll never earn that much money in my life. What kind of rich person can afford a car like this? As they talked, they took out their phones to record the scene. And at this moment, Park Guk-chang sat proudly in the driver's seat, an air of invincibility in his eyes. He enjoyed the envious gazes of the crowd, feeling like he was the center of the world. He looked at Luo Yao, his eyes full of confidence. He believed that no woman could refuse a handsome and rich man like him. He got out of the car and walked up to Luo Yao. "Beautiful lady, may I invite you to have a meal with me?" Park Guk-chang said, speaking in broken Chinese with a Korean accent, expressing his love with great seriousness. His gaze was so sincere it was almost fake, his behavior seemingly polite, but full of frivolity. Coupled with his status as a luxury sports car owner, he considered himself extremely charming. He estimated that no woman could resist a man like him. He couldn't wait to see Luo Yao nod in agreement. But this time he was destined to be hurt. Lu Meng, standing by, looked at him as if he were a dead man, her eyes full of warning. And Luo Yao was already on the verge of exploding. Her face was as gloomy as the calm before storm. If you looked closely, you could see the flames of anger burning in her eyes. Scram! Hearing this word, Park Guk-chang was completely stunned. He never expected this beautiful woman to react this way. His confidence instantly collapsed, and a look of astonishment appeared on his face. He didn't understand. In his world, he was like the moon surrounded by stars. His status, wealth, and appearance were all like sharp weapons that could easily open any woman's heart. But this woman in front of him had so decisively rejected him. Why would anyone refuse him? Even if she didn't know his identity, couldn't she see what kind of car he was driving, what kind of clothes he was wearing? Looking at Luo Yao and her companion, they didn't seem like people who wouldn't recognize luxury goods. "Beauty, just a meal, it really won't take long. I just want to get to know you." Park Guk-chang knew that his behavior just now had been a bit reckless, so he quickly adopted a very humble posture. Even though Luo Yao had already rejected him without a shred of mercy, he still refused to give up. For a young master of Park Guk-chang's status, this was already quite astonishing. When had he ever been so subservient? It was all because, seeing Luo Yao up close, he realized this girl was even more beautiful than when he had seen her from a distance. Whether it was her figure, looks, or temperament, there was nothing to criticize. And most importantly, the woman before him didn't look like she'd had any work done. Even for him, who had seen countless women, he was completely smitten at this moment. Luo Yao's eyes held no emotion or warmth. They were bone-chillingly cold. Before Park Guk-chang could finish speaking, Luo Yao's foot suddenly moved like lightning, viciously kicking him and sending him flying a full 3 meters. Lu Meng sighed to the side, thinking to herself, "Isn't it good to be alive?" Wah! Park Guk-chang fell heavily to the ground, clutching his stomach, his face instantly turning as pale as paper. He felt a fire burning in his stomach, as if his liver and gallbladder were about to be shattered by the kick. The intense pain left him almost breathless. After a while, he struggled to his feet, his eyes filled with rage, staring deadly at Luo Yao and Lu Meng. "Yep, I'll have you all," he said through gritted teeth, his expression like that of a furious lion, wishing he could tear the two before him to shreds. Halfway through his sentence, he suddenly remembered this was China, not Korea, where he could do as he pleased. If he acted rashly here, he could bring great trouble upon himself. So, he suppressed the anger in his heart and changed his tune. "I kindly invited you to dine with me, and you resort to violence? A woman like you who thinks she's so high and mighty. Do you know who I am? If you knew, you would definitely regret what you did today. Do you think I'm not worthy of knowing you?" "Of course you're not worthy." Before Luo Yao could answer, Lu Meng was already enraged, her eyes full of disdain. "What the hell are you? You think you're worthy of approaching our CEO, Luo?" Lu Meng's words were very hurtful. She couldn't let this arrogant fool insult CEO Luo. Park Guk-chang didn't understand what Gouge meant, but he understood the first sentence. "I'm not worthy?" He let out a sneer, cleaning his ear as if he'd heard the funniest joke in the world. He was a young master of the Samsung Group. The Samsung conglomerate was a colossal entity in Korea, a trillion-dollar corporation. He could not accept a Chinese woman saying he was unworthy. It was a massive blow to his pride. At this time, the onlookers also began to gossip. "Lu Meng, in China, you're only worthy of being friends with dogs." Her voice was crisp and clear, standing out in the crowd. "Holy crap, this Korean is killing me. Can't even pick up a girl with a supercar. Suddenly, I feel so much better about myself," a young man said, laughing to his friend, his eyes full of schadenfreude. "Ha, he offered 10 billion and still couldn't get her." Another person chimed in, and the surrounding crowd burst into laughter. "Are you guys blind? Didn't you see who the girl opposite him is? Holy crap, Luo. I gotta go. I'm scared of getting a lawyer's letter." Someone seemed to have recognized Luo Yao's identity. Their expression changed, and they quickly turned and left, afraid of being dragged into the mess. Listening to the discussions around him, Park Guk-chang finally erupted. Although he couldn't fully understand what these people were saying, their mocking voices were like sharp needles, piercing his heart. He felt as if his face had been slapped hard, burning with pain. Very good. No woman has ever dared to humiliate me to my face. Since you refuse my toast, I'll have to use force. Let me be honest with you, women like you are just things for me to need as I please in Korea." A fierce light glinted in Park Guk-chang's eyes. He had completely lost his sanity and reached out to grab Luo Yao, his movement rough and barbaric. Lu Meng closed her eyes, unwilling to witness the bloody scene. Luo Yao suddenly kicked out again, this kick even more powerful and faster than the last. Park Guk-chang was sent flying like a rag doll. His body traced an arc in the air, looking utterly pathetic. While he was in the air, Luo Yao, with extreme speed, grabbed his hair, then forcefully swung him in an aerial over-the-shoulder throw. Park Guk-chang slammed hard onto the ground, raising a cloud of dust. The fall was extremely heavy. Not only did he hit the ground, but Luo Yao had also torn out a large clump of his hair, instantly turning his handsome hairstyle into a bald patch. Park Guk-chang let out a miserable scream. This time, he completely lost the ability to resist and lay on the ground, starting to question his existence. He had never imagined he would be beaten so miserably by a woman. To him, this was an unparalleled humiliation. Luo Yao looked at him coldly, without a trace of pity in her eyes, as if looking at an insignificant ant. She contemptuously flicked the hair from her hand. Lu Meng thoughtfully handed her a disinfectant wipe. She knew Luo Yao had androphobia. Although she had thrown the man down, Her hand had touched his hair, which had to be disinfected. As Luo Yao's personal special assistant, she knew Luo Yao's habits and next moves like the back of her hand. Luo Yao wiped her hands with the tissue and said, "If you don't get lost now, you won't have another chance." Her voice was not loud. It was as cold as if from the ninth circle of hell, possessing an unquestionable authority. If this were inside the Luo Corporation, Park Guk-chang would already be a corpse, but they were on the street. Even Luo Yao wouldn't kill someone in public. It wasn't that she didn't dare, but if she did it now, she would inevitably get blood on herself, and that wouldn't be beautiful. She didn't want to see Lin Ran in a state that wasn't beautiful. So, every time she got her hands dirty, she would clean up before seeing Lin Ran. This was Luo Yao, a beautiful and dangerous woman. Just then, Park Guk-chang's assistant finally snapped out of shock, his face as pale as paper, his hands trembling slightly. He quickly put down the camera, which was originally intended to record Park Guk-chang's seduction process, but had now become evidence of his beating. Ignoring that, he rushed to Park Guk-chang's side, shouting in panic, "President, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?" Bonus chapter. His voice was strained, his eyes filled with worry. The color had drained from Park Guk-chang's face. His eyes were vacant. Even now, he couldn't believe he'd been thrown down by a woman without any ability to resist, and beaten so miserably at that. The assistant looked at Luo Yao and Lu Meng and shouted with false bravado, "You're finished. I'm telling you, you're finished. Do you know who this is?" He tried to use this to regain some dignity, but his trembling voice betrayed his inner fear. Lu Meng glanced at them disdainfully, then looked at Luo Yao. With a single look from her, many bodyguards instantly appeared. These bodyguards were well-trained, dressed in uniform black suits and sunglasses, each one burly and imposing. They quickly surrounded Luo Yao and Lu Meng, forming a solid human wall. This scene also greatly surprised Park Guk-chang and his assistant. They hadn't expected this woman to have some power. It seemed she was also a young lady from some prominent family. Although Park Guk-chang was furious, a trace of apprehension grew in his heart. He began to realize that this woman was not someone he could easily provoke. Very good. Only a woman like this is worthy of me. Although Park Guk-chang had been beaten badly, his twisted psychology made him even more fascinated with Luo Yao. He felt that Luo Yao was like a rose with thorns. The harder she was to conquer, the more attractive she became. Luo Yao narrowed her eyes, a flash of disgust and anger in them. "So, do you like to be paired? Lu Meng, find a few pigs to pair with him." Literally, her tone was cold and decisive. She would not let this person who offended her off easily. Lu Meng's pupils quaked. She knew Luo Yao was serious. Also, doesn't this guy like to record things? Find a clearer camera and help him record it. Understood. Park Guk-chang and his assistant shouted, "Don't touch me. Do you know who I am? If you dare touch me, I'll have you all buried with me." Due to Park Guk-chang's appearance, Luo Yao lost her mood. She turned and walked back into the Luo Corporation building. Her steps were still elegant, but her eyes carried a hint of displeasure. But as soon as she reached the first-floor lobby, she saw a scene that nearly made her lose her mind. Lin Ran had just arrived at Luo Corporation. He had driven his car slowly and parked it directly in the dedicated spot by the entrance. He had seen a crowd gathered on the road over there and was a little curious, but he didn't stop to check. After all, his little devil was waiting to be fed, and he didn't want to keep Luo Yao waiting too long. After arriving in the first-floor lobby and passing through security, he headed towards the elevators. Who knew that at this very moment, a middle-aged woman, surrounded by crowd, walked over. Those people were chattering away in Korean, their expressions respectful and fawning, like a group of loyal servants surrounding their queen. Lin Ran had no interest in this. His only thought was to see Luo Yao as soon as possible, so he completely ignored them. But the woman at the center of the entourage was stunned the moment she saw Lin Ran. Then, a hint of pleasant surprise flashed in her eyes, and she walked over with elegant steps. "Hello." Her voice was gentle and pleasant, her eyes carrying a hint of intelligence and charm. Lin Ran frowned, looking coldly at the middle-aged woman before him. He saw that she was wearing custom-made clothes of what looked like high-grade material, every stitch exuding luxury. She wore jewelry that was clearly priceless, the gems sparkling dazzlingly under the lights, almost hurting one's eyes. But the way this woman was looking at him was amorous, which sent a chill down Lin Ran's spine. "What are you trying to do?" He wondered silently. "Is there something I can help you with?" Lin Ran's tone was impatient. He disliked these kinds of random approaches, especially when he was in a hurry to see Luo Yao. Cheon asked proudly. Why didn't you keep looking at me? Her tone held a hint of dissatisfaction and confusion. In her eyes, she was like a dazzling pearl that should be the center of attention wherever she went. This man had actually ignored her, which she found a bit hard to accept. Why should I keep looking at you? Do you think you're Chinese currency? Lin Ran replied disdainfully. He found this woman ridiculous and way too full of herself. Besides, look at your age. How can you be so confident? The woman clearly didn't expect Lin Ran to have this attitude. She paused, a flash of astonishment in her eyes. But she didn't say much more, just quietly looked at Lin Ran, seemingly reassessing the man before her. At this moment, two Luo Corporation executives standing nearby frowned with worry, but dared not say anything. After all, she hadn't done anything outrageous, so they couldn't intervene. They could only watch from the side, hoping no trouble would break out. Cheon quickly regained her composure. A charming smile played on her lips, her eyes tinged with seduction. Very good, man. You've caught my attention. Accompany me tonight. My hotel bed is big and soft. Her voice was full of ambiguity. The implication in her words couldn't be more obvious. Lin Ran was floored. His eyes widened in disbelief. He never thought this middle-aged woman would say such a thing. This was too absurd. Are you speaking Chinese? Lin Ran wondered if he had misheard. He thought this woman must be crazy. Of course it's Chinese. I like handsome and aloof Chinese men like you. Although Cheon was a chaeble's wife, she was also a notorious Samsung playgirl. Many people in Samsung had been preyed upon by her. Lin Ran couldn't help but pity the woman. Look at you, dressed so nicely, but you came to China to be a prostitute? Too bad you're too ugly and old. You should go for 80-year-old grandpas. They might take pity on you and treat you to a meal or two. And you're Korean, right? You can be shameless in China, but don't steal. We hate thieves like you the most. Now you're even trying to steal men? Koreans really can't stop eating shit. What? Are there no men left in Korea? Oh, right. Only 200,000 births a year, with over 10,000 suicides. I heard it's because Koreans are just cattle for the chaebles, and they kill themselves when they can't take the grind anymore. Is that true? Cheon looked completely bewildered, her once confident face now filled with confusion. Her Chinese was just good enough for basic communication. She didn't quite understand the meanings of the cruder, more insulting words Lin Ran used. But she had clearly heard Lin Ran call her ugly, which was undoubtedly a huge blow to her, who had always been proud of her appearance. You dare call me ugly? My face won a Medical Beauty Angel award in Korea. Plastic surgery faces can win beauty contests now? The world has gone downhill. And let me correct you, you're not Great Korea. Your country's stick isn't big at all, just this tiny. Lin Ran made a pinching gesture. For any Korean, this gesture was universally understood. Cheon almost fainted from anger, especially since Lin Ran had made an issue of her face. Her face was built with money, a work of art meticulously sculpted by renowned cosmetic masters, every line just right. Coupled with expensive skincare products that worked like magic, her skin remained firm and smooth. Although she was indeed a bit older, she had always believed she was very well maintained and could never be associated with the word ugly. Moreover, Lin Ran had also insulted all Koreans. Fine. If I don't break you, my name isn't Cheon. Lin Ran? Cheon. Oh, so you're Cheon. Not only ugly, but also old. And you're still called that? You Koreans are truly something. For you, I can only say the only beautiful thing about you is your beautiful imagination. Lin Ran showed no signs of holding back, his voice echoing in the lobby like a judgment bell. His eyes were filled with disgust, as if looking at something nauseating. Everyone's face was filled with astonishment, their mouths agape, as if they could fit an egg. The accompanying Luo Corporation staff, in particular, were in awe of Lin Ran. His offensive power was too strong. At this moment, an executive had to bite the bullet and speak up. Ms. Cheon, you should probably go to your meal. Don't waste your time here. His voice was a bit dry, his eyes full of worry. He hoped to quell this storm as quickly as possible, otherwise things would only get worse. Cheon was about to die from anger. Hearing this only fueled her rage. She glared viciously at the executive. You're still telling me to eat? Can't you see I'm about to die of anger? Is this how Luo Corporation treats its guests? You, send this man to my hotel now, or I'll cancel our collaboration with Luo Corporation, Cheon said through gritted teeth, her voice sharp and piercing with anger. In her view, she couldn't let Lin Ran off so easily, and she wanted to use the collaboration to threaten Luo Corporation into siding with her. The two executives frowned, glanced at each other, then both looked at Xion Yuemshang as if she were already dead. They thought to themselves, forget you, even if your husband and all the top executives of the entire Samsung group were here, they couldn't afford to provoke this man. You want to cancel the collaboration? Why don't you just go to heaven? You have no idea what kind of existence you're facing. Just then, an abrupt voice cut through the strange atmosphere. The voice was crisp and cold, like a winter wind that could pierce straight to the bone. Very well. Then all collaboration with Samsung is canceled. And in the future, we will continuously attack Samsung's businesses. At least in China, you won't survive. It was Luo Yao's voice. Every word she spoke carried an unquestionable authority. Hearing Luo Yao's voice, Qion Yuemshang's eyes widened, filled with shock and confusion. CEO Luo, what did you say? Qion Yuemshang's voice trembled slightly. She was beginning to realize the gravity of the situation. She had only wanted to force the Luo Corporation staff to send her a man, not to actually cancel the collaboration. Luo Yao walked towards Qion Yuemshang step by step, her pace steady and powerful, each step seeming to land on Qion Yuemshang's heart. Lin Ran knew these were Luo Yao's footsteps when she was angry. Whenever this happened, it meant someone was in for a world of hurt. Sure enough, with a crisp smack, Luo Yao's hand fiercely struck Qion Yuemshang's face. Qion Yuemshang stared in disbelief, a red palm print instantly appearing on her face. The stinging pain left her mind blank. CEO Luo, why did you hit me? Qion Yuemshang clutched her face, her eyes full of grievance and anger. Luo Yao suddenly turned her head, her gaze instantly becoming incredibly gentle, looking at Lin Ran with deep affection, like a docile little cat. Ran, I'll get rid of this woman for you now, okay? Her voice was soft and sweet, a stark contrast to the coldness she had shown Qion Yuemshang. Lin Ran smiled and stroked Luo Yao's head, his eyes full of love and doting. He loved this domineering side of Luo Yao. This way she would do anything for him melted his heart. Now, he had no desire to escape at all. He even wished Luo Yao would be a little crazier, driving away anyone who tried to get close to him. Seeing Luo Yao and Lin Ran's interaction, how could Qion Yuemshang not understand the situation? A wave of panic washed over her, a hint of terror flashing in her eyes. CEO Luo, I'm sorry, I didn't know he was your man. I was wrong. Please don't cancel the collaboration. Besides, canceling it won't do you any good either. Although Samsung isn't as good as Luo Corp, we won't just sit back and take it. If you attack our businesses, we will retaliate. Although it was an apology mixed with a threat, her tone carried a clear plea. She knew that if this collaboration failed, her rivals within the group would surely take the opportunity to kick her while she was down when she returned to Korea. She dared not imagine the situation she would face. Most importantly, her own son was not the next primary heir. There was an older brother above him, one who was not her biological child. That was why she was so desperate to complete this collaboration and gain some leverage. Retaliate against me? What do you think you are? And where could you possibly retaliate? Qion Yuemshang was instantly stunned. That's right, Luo Corporation had no major businesses in Korea. Samsung could control Korea, but it couldn't control other places. And so, Qion Yuemshang made a suicidal attempt to salvage Luo Yao's decision. CEO Luo, I've already apologized to you. What more do you want? If you like men, I can find you some more handsome and stronger ones to accompany you. You can even pick from our Korean male celebrities. Those people are like our slaves, very obedient. Qion Yuemshang tried to use this method to salvage the situation, her eyes holding a hint of fawning. Lin Ran? You're trying to poach my wife right in front of me. He was so angry he went all out. You like being accompanied, right? Special Assistant Lu, find a few dogs to accompany her. Lu Meng's pupils quaked again. She was shocked by Lin Ran's words, but still quickly said, understood. They really are a family. At that moment, the elevator arrived. Lin Ran and Luo Yao got in, leaving Qion Yuemshang on the floor. She sat there in disbelief, her eyes vacant, as if she had lost her soul. Meanwhile, outside, Park Guk-chang had initially wanted to resist, but seeing the bodyguard surrounding him, he was also stunned. Don't you come over here. His voice trembled, his eyes filled with fear. He was beginning to regret his impulsiveness. When Park Guk-chang was brought inside, he happened to see Qion Yuemshang sitting on the floor. Mom, save me, Park Guk-chang shouted, as if he had seen a lifeline. Son, what happened to you? Seeing Park Guk-chang's pathetic state, Qion Yuemshang's heart lurched with panic. At this time, more bodyguards gathered. The few assistants Cheon had brought with her were all cowering, not daring to look up, frightened into inaction by the tense atmosphere. Cheon, don't come over here. Her voice was filled with despair. She knew she had thoroughly messed up this time. Aishable, let me and my mother go. In the office, Luo Yao immediately burrowed into Lin Ran's arms, like an injured little bird that had found a warm nest. Lin Ran, dotingly, took out the meticulously prepared nutritious meal. The container looked exquisite, filled with all sorts of delicious and nourishing food. You're too thin, you must eat on time, Lin Ran said as he opened the container and fed Luo Yao. Does our Ran like chubbier or thinner women? I'm not interested in women. Only you, whether you're chubby or thin. An 8. For point answer. After Luo Yao had eaten some, Lin Ran finally spoke. Yao, there's something I want to tell you. Lin Ran's gaze turned a bit serious as he looked at Luo Yao, his eyes full of deep affection. What is it? Luo Yao lifted her head, looking at Lin Ran with curiosity. Lin Ran looked at the small bottle on Luo Yao's desk, a wave of emotion washing over him. The feeling was like a tide surging in his heart, leaving him choked up for a moment, unable to express the emotion in words. Actually, I've remembered some things. Lin Ran's voice was a bit low, his mind flashing with blurry images. What things? For example, the small bottle on your desk, Lin Ran said, pointing to the bottle, his eyes filled with reminiscence. Luo Yao looked up, her eyes filled with surprise as she looked at Lin Ran. Ran, are you back? Her voice was filled with anticipation. Maybe not yet. Yao, whether it's the me from the past or the me now, I am yours. Lin Ran held Luo Yao tightly, as if wanting to merge her into his own body, continuously inhaling her scent. The current me might not be the complete me, but my love for you will never change, Lin Ran whispered in Luo Yao's ear, his eyes full of determination. Luo Yao wasn't too disappointed. At least her Ran remembered these things. She believed it wouldn't be long before Ran fully returned. Luo Yao grabbed the small bottle from the desk and shook it at Lin Ran. I'll keep this for a lifetime. I'll take it out on the day you die and make you fulfill your promise even in hell. Lin Ran was charmed by Luo Yao's strange train of thought and couldn't help but laugh. Yao, aren't you curious why I could travel through time? Lin Ran looked at Luo Yao, a hint of confusion in his eyes. Luo Yao blinked and asked, why be curious? Ran is Ran. Whatever happens to you, you're still my Ran. As long as you're by my side, nothing else is important. Her eyes were filled with love, a pure and steadfast love. Lin Ran suddenly felt relieved. He felt his previous agonizing had been a bit foolish. In fact, Luo Yao had never cared about these things. Even if Luo Yao had known from a young age that he would time travel, she had never questioned the root of the issue. This was Luo Yao. Her love for him transcended science and time, a force that could overcome any obstacle. Lin Ran gently held Luo Yao's hand, his eyes filled with determination and gentleness. Yao, I may never fully understand your love for me, but I'm willing to respond with everything I have. His voice was soft and firm, like making an eternal vow. Luo Yao smiled. She knew Lin Ran would find the answer, just as she had always believed. Leaning gently on Lin Ran's shoulder, the two sat quietly, enjoying each other's company, as if the whole world consisted of only them. In Luo Yao's heart, perhaps Lin Ran would fully return one day, or perhaps he wouldn't. She was willing to wait, no matter how long it took. Even if he didn't return in the end, she would accept it with grace. Meanwhile, the mother-son pair, Cheon Eumshang and Park Guk-chang, were in a miserable state. Not only did they have a friendly exchange with humanity's friends, but it was also recorded and sent to their husband/father in Korea, Park Bok-ji. That bitch. Park Bok-ji was instantly enraged. He slammed his Samsung phone on the table, but the phone couldn't take it and exploded, injuring his hand and sending him to the hospital. An hour later, the Samsung Group announced that the current head, Mr. Park Bok-ji, and his wife, Cheon Eumshang, were divorced, and Cheon Eumshang was removed from the Samsung board of directors. When Cheon Eumshang and her son in China heard the news, they were stunned. Without even recovering from their injuries, they flew back to Korea that same day to find Park Bok-ji. When Lin Ran and Luo Yao learned of this, it didn't stir any ripples in their hearts. Yao, your injury hasn't healed yet. You should go back to the manor to recover. Luo Yao had come today to discuss the collaboration with Samsung. Now that the collaboration was on hold, Samsung would surely send someone else later. Whether they would accept the Luo Corporation's even harsher conditions as an apology or wait to be attacked by Luo Corporation was their own choice. So there was no need to think about it for now. All right, but before I go back, I want to see your media company. Lin Ran was taken aback, not expecting Luo Yao to be interested in his media company. It's my honor for my wife to inspect my work. I'll notify old Wu. No need. Let's just go like this. It's not far. Okay. In the Nuan Yao media office. Although the Nuan Yao group had already expanded into several companies, Wu Zhishang still liked to stay here. He looked at the script Zhang Xinyan handed him with an expression like he was eating shit. Don't say it. You really shouldn't say it. This. You wrote it. That's right, 50,001 words, with one extra for free. Zhang Xinyan looked exhausted, but was very proud. She hadn't expected to actually complete this insane task. Wu Zhishang's mouth twitched a couple of times. See? If I didn't push you, how would you know you had such great potential? But this script of yours is not up to my standards, so you can't work here. What's not up to standard? Zhang Xinyan suppressed her anger. She felt this Wu Zhishang was a bit of a dog. The quantity is sufficient, but the quality is lacking. To her surprise, Wu Zhishang was just blatantly playing dirty. Did you demand quality? Your requirement was only quantity. Okay. Wu Zhishang knew in his heart that she was right. What was he to do? He absolutely did not dare to hire Zhang Xinyan. You have to understand, quantity without quality is just wasted effort. It's like finding a husband, having many of them but all being unqualified. How could you possibly have a healthy baby? Who would have so many husbands? I'm saying, never mind, just go. My standards for an assistant are too high. You're not up to the task. Zhang Xinyan's inner self was already on a rampage, but she still managed to squeeze out a smile. Who says? You haven't even given me a try. I worked hard to complete the task you gave me. And now you're telling me you were just messing with me? No way. Not unless you have a valid reason. Wu Zhishang had no choice but to resort to a magical attack. A valid reason, you say? Because you're too stupid. You have no cunning. How can I use you? On what ground do you say I'm stupid? Zhang Xinyan refused to accept it. Your name is Zhang Xinyan. You don't even have a full set of cunning, and you still say you're not stupid? Zhang Xinyan was stunned. She never thought this Wu Zhishang would be shameless enough to attack her with her own name. How could she tolerate this? I may not have cunning, but you have no intelligence. Wu Zhishang retorted. Mine is for lofty ambition. Shang is because my parents hoped I would be prosperous. I just happen to be surnamed Wu. Fine, fine. Then let me tell you, Lin means beautiful woman, and Dexin means happy. My parents hoped I would be a happy girl. I just happen to be surnamed Zhang. Wu Zhishang was stunned. Don't say it. You really shouldn't say it. That name actually has some meaning. Do I have a spell out for you? You're someone my sister-in-law rejected. I absolutely cannot hire you. But actually, you're still not bad. Zhang Xinyan finally understood. This was the valid reason, and he had even complimented her as not bad. So she smiled foolishly. Old Wu, I made you a manager, and you're here picking up girls? Wu Zhishang looked up towards the door and was instantly petrified. Zhang Xinyan also lowered her head. Simultaneously, they shouted, Hello, CEO Luo, /hello, sister-in-law. Lin Ran. So I'm just a decoration? Luo Yao walked up to Zhang Xinyan and looked at her quietly. You want to get revenge from the very place you fell? Not a bad idea. Zhang Xinyan's eyes widened in disbelief. CEO Luo, you truly are my idol. Nothing gets past you. I did indeed want to enter Nuan Yao, tarnish this company, make it go bankrupt, make Lin Ran hate me, and then you would notice me. Wu Zhishang's eyes widened. No, is this girl really that straightforward? Lin Ran, what are you talking about? What did I ever do to you? We've only met twice, and you already hold a grudge against me. Zhang Xinyan bowed to Lin Ran. I'm sorry, I did hate you before, but now I don't because I have an enemy I hate even more. Lin Ran. So your hatred has been transferred? Yes, now I hate Wu Zhishang more. Wu Zhishang. Before your interview, I think we only met once, right? Zhang Xinyan said fiercely. So what? I'm latched onto you now. I'm telling you, whether you hire me today or not, I will stick to you. Lin Ran. This rhetoric, this tone, it feels a bit familiar. Suddenly, Luo Yao's voice came. I won't bully the weak. If Nuan Yao wants to hire you, I won't stop them. Wu Zhishang. So, do you want me to refuse or accept? Wu Zhishang's inner thoughts. If sister-in-law wanted me to reject Zhang Xinyan, she could have just said nothing. A single death glare would do. So, she's allowing me to hire her. I'm such a genius. Zhang Xinyan, congratulations, you're hired. Wu Zhishang extended his hand. Zhang Xinyan paused for a moment, then shook it. Thank you, CEO Wu. Lin Ran gave Wu Zhishang a strange look. thinking to himself that this was Wu Zhishang all right, daring to hire Zhang Xinyan. You're straying further and further down the path of courting death. Even Luo Yao was a bit stunned. She didn't expect Wu Zhishang's dog guts to be so big. Wasn't her meaning obvious? I won't bully the weak, but you can. But Luo Yao didn't say anything, instead leading Lin Ran on a tour of Luo Yao media. Lin Ran followed beside Luo Yao, with Wu Zhishang trailing behind them. It looked as if Luo Yao was the real boss here. Brother Lin, how was my performance just now? Pretty good. What was pretty good? The cemetery in the suburbs is having a sale right now. You can look into it. Wu Zhishang. Walking into the office area, everyone was busy with their heads down. No one noticed them come in. The only one who did, the receptionist, was about to speak, but was silenced by Luo Yao with a gesture. Glancing at the receptionist's bust line, Luo Yao let out an unconscious cold snort, then puffed out her chest. Walking deeper into the office area, Luo Yao glanced at Lin Ran again and asked coldly, "The receptionist is quite pretty." Wu Zhishang and Lin Ran both looked up, but Wu Zhishang immediately looked down again, distancing himself from them. "Is she? I didn't see her just now. I was only paying attention to you." The corners of Luo Yao's mouth lifted slightly. "Remember to fire her later." Lin Ran, "Okay, for his wife's happiness. What's the harm in offending the whole world? You exchanged 2 sentences with Zhang Xinyan just now. If I hadn't interrupted, you were prepared to say a third." Lin Ran instantly broke into a cold sweat. "It's a good thing you interrupted me. If you hadn't, I might have resorted to violence. I've met this Zhang Xinyan twice, and she's provoked me both times. She's asking for a beating." This answer was acceptable. Luo Yao pointed to another girl and said, "Aran, look at that girl. Do you think? I think she should be in the sales department running business, not sitting here as a clerk." Aran, you decide. Don't compromise because of me." Lin Ran, "Are you listening to yourself?" Suddenly, a clerk looked up, rubbing her neck and turning her head. Then she froze. "Hello, CEO Luo." Everyone was startled by this and looked up to see the legendary tycoon's daughter. In unison, they shouted, "Hello, Luo." Luo Yao's cold gaze swept across the entire room, mainly looking at the young women. Everyone lowered their heads. Luo Yao's killing power was terrifying. Just as they thought Luo Yao would ignore them, she spoke. "Everyone has worked hard. As you know, Aran is my husband. I just came to see how Aran's company is doing. Now that I see it, it's a bit awkward." Everyone had a question mark on their face. "It's awkwardly crowded. Lu Meng, buy this building and renovate it in the group style." Everyone. "What did CEO Luo just say?" Wu Zhishang, standing behind them, already understood Luo Yao's meaning, his legs trembling with excitement. Luo Yao continued, "And transfer the ownership to Aran's name." Lu Meng, "Yes, CEO Luo." Lin Ran felt this was really too wasteful. He just had a small company. Yao, this building. There are many companies located in it. If you do this, where will they go? Give them money and have them move. Lin Ran. Luo Yao suddenly turned to look at Lin Ran and asked a puzzling question. "Aran, do you know why a company goes bankrupt?" Lin Ran frowned and replied, "It can't be because the office building isn't big enough, right?" Luo Yao shook her head. Wu Zhishang chimed in. "I know this one. I recently read some business books. It's because of management systems efficiency at #%yen. Luo Yao, shut up. Wu Zhishang quickly turned around, looking at Zhang Xinyan not far behind him. "Assistant Zhang, find me a roll of tape." Wu Zhishang directly made a hand seal, having someone tape his mouth shut. "Aran, do you think the Luo Corporation will go bankrupt?" The Luo Corporation going bankrupt? Everyone pricked up their ears to listen. Luo Yao didn't intentionally lower her voice. Lin Ran, "Impossible, absolutely impossible." "What?" "Because the Luo Corporation has ample funds and a massive scale, enough to face any risk." Luo Yao nodded. "Correct. Aran, you must remember, any company goes bankrupt because it has no money. As long as you have money, you can solve any problem. If someone slanders you, do public relations. If someone competes maliciously, throw money at them. Even if the company building is smashed, you can just buy a new one the next day. That's confidence. Your company, its scale is too small." Lin Ran agreed with Luo Yao's words. He was actually just trying to persuade Luo Yao, but now there was no need to persuade at all. If he dared to refuse something Luo Yao wanted to give him, that would be courting death. At this moment, the receptionist shouted loudly, "Thank you, boss's wife." All the employees also reacted and said in unison, "Thank you, boss's wife." Luo Yao glanced at Lin Ran and said softly, "Her job is saved." Lin Ran, I didn't expect you to be so fickle. Since you all call me boss's wife, let me say one more thing. I hope all of you not only work, but also have goals. The company will also help plan your lives. For example, the ladies here who don't have boyfriends, go to your CEO Wu to solve it. This could be a company rule. This time, everyone, including Wu Zhishang, was dumbfounded. Only Lin Ran was blushing, as he naturally understood Luo Yao's meaning. Ahem, your boss's wife is right. As the boss, I also hope my employees can all have a happy and fulfilling partner. This matter will be handed over to CEO Wu. The tape on Wu Zhishang's mouth prevented him from speaking, but he was screaming internally. Brother Lin, sister-in-law, are you two listening to the ridiculous things you're saying? Finally, he ripped the tape off. He didn't even have a girlfriend himself. This was really an impossible task. His brain said, I can't do it, but his mouth said, Roger that. This time, the employees were stunned. What kind of divine company was this? Not only were the benefits good and the backing strong, but they also took care of finding you a partner. Suddenly, Luo Yao dropped a bombshell. For those who find a partner and get married, as the boss's wife, I won't be stingy. A red envelope of 100,000 for each person. Long live the boss's wife. Getting a job at Luo Yao is simply the most correct choice in my life. What kind of divine company is this? They even give you money to find a husband. But Luo Yao isn't just about the boss warming Luo Yao. It can also mean the company warming the employees. I'm crying my eyes out. The boss has given too much, boo-hoo. I swear, I love to work, and I'll work overtime. Otherwise, I wouldn't be worthy of the benefits the boss's wife is giving me. What about us men? Does this company favor women over men? Are you stupid? You didn't understand the boss's wife's meaning at all. You can pursue the female employees. Then you'll get a share of the benefits, right? Wow, brother, your understanding is top-notch. The corners of Luo Yao's mouth lifted slightly. The purpose of her visit today had been achieved. And so, she left. This time, she listened to Lin Ran's words and chose to recover from her injuries. This recovery might take several days. So Luo Yao directly had Lu Meng invite the assistant team to work at the manor again tomorrow. She hadn't worked seriously for several days and couldn't delay any longer. That night, Lin Ran personally applied medicine for Luo Yao, but Luo Yao's hands and feet were restless. She wanted to bind Lin Ran to herself at all times. Yao Yao, stop fooling around. You're still injured. Luo Yao pouted her small lips aggrievedly. You don't like Yao Yao anymore? How could that be possible? Then you're deliberately avoiding me. Lin Ran sighed deeply. I give up on you. Slap, 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 slap. The next day, Lu Meng brought the entire assistant team to the manor. Luo Yao directly handed over the vast majority of the work to Lu Meng, while she herself handled only the most important tasks. In the study, Luo Yao looked over documents while Lin Ran fed her all sorts of expensive fruits. Gradually, Luo Yao's cheeks unconsciously puffed out. Choo choo choo. Yao Yao, open your mouth. Oh, as Lin Ran fed her once more, Luo Yao suddenly came to her senses. She felt the food in her mouth in disbelief, never imagining she would eat in such a way. What's wrong? Don't you like it? No, fruit has too much sugar. Eating too much will really make me fat. That's enough for today. But a sweet Yao Yao is the one I like. Really? Of course. Luo Yao directly gave all the sweetness she hadn't swallowed from her mouth to Lin Ran. Lin Ran was truly sweetened. Just then, Luo Yao's phone suddenly vibrated. She didn't look at it immediately, but seriously finished the sweet game with Lin Ran. Suddenly, a heart-wrenching scream echoed throughout Villeneuve. Lin Ran and Luo Yao looked at each other, both frowning. That scream just now, was it Butler Fu? Lin Ran quickly went downstairs to check. Luo Yao glanced at the message on her phone. It was from Brother Dao. Boss, the Liu family is telling all the other guests that Lin Ran is their son-in-law. Do you need me to pull out their tongues? Why would Brother Dao send this message to Luo Yao? Because he was afraid that if he acted on his own, Boss Luo wouldn't be able to have her fun personally, and he would suffer for it. Luo Yao thought for a moment and replied with a message. Make them suffer a bit. I'll go pull them out myself when I have time. After replying, Luo Yao also walked out of the study, preparing to see what was wrong with Butler Fu. Then she saw a grief-stricken Butler Fu clutching his head, rolling on the floor, and crying his eyes out. Butler Fu's state frightened even Lin Ran. While over there, Nanny Wang had collapsed on the floor, her eyes vacant and lifeless. What's wrong with you two? Lin Ran asked. Nanny Wang stood up and bowed to Lin Ran and Luo Yao. Young Master Lin, Miss, thank you for taking me in all this time. I will be leaving now. Nanny Wang covered her face and ran off. Nanny Wang? Where are you going? At this, Butler Fu on the floor sprang to his feet and chased after her, grabbing Nanny Wong. A maid came over and quietly explained the situation. It turned out that Nanny Wong had to go to the hospital today, but Butler Fu wouldn't let her leave. At the time, Nanny Wong was very defiant because it was supposed to be her day off, but Butler Fu insisted she work overtime. In the end, Nanny Wong had no choice but to finish her work as quickly as possible. But even after her work was done, Butler Fu still wouldn't let her go. We also don't understand why Butler Fu always likes to give Nanny Wong a hard time. Nanny Wong is clearly a very good person. But now I know Nanny Wong and Butler Fu, they have a story. Lin Ran looked at the maid with a strange expression. You think I needed you to tell me that? I'm not blind. Just get to the point. The maid was also a little embarrassed. She hadn't expected the young master to have no interest in the process and could only continue the story. In short, Nanny Wong had an appointment with a specialist at the hospital and wanted to leave by force. In his haste, Butler Fu pushed her, and Nanny Wong fell. She looked at Butler Fu with disappointment. Zhang Lai Fu, you really are a bad person. To get revenge on me, you'd even disregard your own grandson's life. Butler Fu was instantly dumbfounded. He stood there stunned for a good while before asking Nanny Wong, what did you say? Your grandson is currently waiting for a specialist consultation at the hospital. I already made the appointment. By stopping me from leaving at this time, you are harming him. Butler Fu was flabbergasted, in disbelief. My grandson. 2 streams of tears rolled down Nanny Wong's cheeks, her eyes filled with despair. Back then, I shouldn't have given birth to that child. Then there wouldn't be the suffering of today. It's all karma. Child? What child? Nanny Wong finally broke down first, yelling, your own biological child. And so, the scene from just now occurred. Butler Fu couldn't accept this fact, staggered, and fell to the ground. He too became vacant and lifeless, and for some reason, suddenly started to wail. Then Lin Ran, came down. Now, Butler Fu was at the door, holding on to Nanny Wong. Explain what you just said. Why is he my grandson? And what's wrong with him? Nanny Wong sobbed and said, because you are this child's biological grandfather. Is that so hard to understand? Now, I am leaving. If you want to fire me, then I can only accept it. After speaking, Nanny Wong directly shook off Butler Fu's hand and left. Butler Fu stood there, his pupils experiencing a level 12 earthquake. Luo Yao was right next to Lin Ran, so she naturally understood the story and had a rough guess in her heart. Butler Fu, your salary for this month is gone. You can get out of the manor now. If you don't sort this matter out, don't bother coming back. You know I hate unfaithful men the most. Lin Ran also patted him. What are you waiting for? Scram. Butler Fu gave Lin Ran a grateful look and then disappeared. Lin Ran watched their backs, an incredibly frustrating feeling of not having gotten the full scoop on the gossip. Yao Yao, I'm going to check on them too. Luo Yao nodded. You go. I still have work, so I won't go. If Butler Fu really is that kind of person, just have him commit suicide. Lin Ran looked awkward. If being a scumbag was a capital offense, his former self should have been sliced 1,000 times. It showed just how much Luo Yao loved him. All right, but I should still bring something. After all, there's a patient. I'll bring some fruit. The kid will definitely like it. And these healthy snacks and sunflower seeds, drinks, mineral water. Are you really going to see a patient? Lin Ran chuckled. It's on the way. After Lin Ran left, Luo Yao's expression gradually turned sinister. Lu Meng, come out with me. Yes, CEO Luo. Bring the pliers. Lu Meng. When Lin Ran arrived at the hospital, he saw Butler Fu alone in the corridor. Where's Nanny Wong? Seeing Butler Fu's current state, he had already regained his composure. In there. She said she doesn't want to see me, so I can only wait here. Lin Ran silently sighed for Butler Fu in his heart. It turned out that no matter how old one was, there would always be emotional troubles. Compared to them, he and Luo Yao were so yellow. Ahem, so blissfully happy it was off the charts. Then what if Nanny Wong still ignores you when she comes out? Butler Fu said with a determined look, if I was wrong, I will make it up to her, even if it takes a lifetime. Lin Ran looked at Butler Fu strangely. I never expected you to be a scummy old man. Butler Fu managed to squeeze out a smile that was uglier than crying. Young master, please don't laugh at me. Perhaps I'm the real clown of this world. Everyone laughs at the clown, but in the end, everyone is the clown. All right, I'm here to see Nanny Wong for one, and I also want to see her grandson. By the way, what exactly is the situation between you and Nanny Wong? Butler Fu fell silent. If you don't want to talk, you don't have to. And so, Butler Fu began to tell his story. Time rewinded to the 1980s in a northern coastal town. This small town had just been established as a prefecture-level city and was in a period of rapid official planning and development. In such a special time, many chaotic stories emerged. As the saying goes, troubled times produce heroes, and Zhang Laifu was the hero of this small-scale chaos. After graduating from university, he had wanted to return his hometown to find a decent job, but the situation at the time did not allow him to be decent. Demolitions everywhere, dirty money everywhere, collusion between officials and businessmen, until Zhang Laifu's old family home was forcibly demolished. He couldn't stand it anymore and finally embarked on a not-so-bright path. On this path, he went from being a small-time hoodlum to a gang leader. Then he became the very person he once hated the most, doing anything for dirty money. But all of this changed because of one person, and that person was Wang Dahua. In a village in the coastal town, Zhang Laifu arrogantly led a dozen people here. Village Chief Wang, have your villagers sign the contracts, take the money, and move out quickly. The village chief said angrily, Zhang Laifu, you're not human, helping those heartless developers. You resort to any means for that little bit of money. These are our own houses. We can demolish them if we want. And if we don't want to, we won't. You're bringing people here by force to make us sign. What kind of rule is this? Seeing the village chief's angry refusal, Zhang Laifu's temper as a boss was also stirred. So he pointed to the ground and shouted, my rules are the rules. The village chief was no pushover. Seeing how aggressive Zhang Laifu was, he immediately rallied the villagers to resist. And so, a brawl broke out between the two groups. Zhang Laifu was very confident. With his dozen or so men, he easily subdued the several dozen villagers who had been hastily assembled. I'll be back tonight. I don't know whose house I'll visit. I hope you'll cooperate, to avoid losing something or someone. Zhang Laifu threatened arrogantly before leaving. The village chief gritted his teeth. But Zhang Laifu never expected that when he entered the village that night, the entire village, men, women, old and young, had gathered several hundred people and directly took down Zhang Laifu and the men he brought with him. The others didn't matter so much. At most, they were injured. But if Zhang Laifu fell into the hands of these villagers, he would likely be a goner. He understood this himself. It is said that rural folk are simple and honest, but when they are fierce, no explanation is needed. Zhang Laifu used all his strength to escape. He was heavily injured and ran along the coast. Under the pursuit of many people, he finally jumped into the sea. Dead. All over. If not dead, then great fortune after a great disaster. After an unknown amount of time, Zhang Laifu drifted to the shore unconscious. It was at this moment that a woman saved him. This person was Wang Dahua. When Zhang Laifu opened his eyes, he saw this woman with braided hair. Wang Dahua meticulously took care of Zhang Laifu. After some time, the two of them fell for each other. Dahua, if I can make a name for myself in the future, you will be the person I will never betray in my life. Wang Dahua was a bit shy, a bit scared. Will you be a good person from now on? My father hates you to death. That's right. Wang Dahua was the village chief's daughter. A good person? A momentary daze appeared in Zhang Laifu's eyes. Could he still be a good person? Wang Dahua nodded. My father says you're a bad guy. If you become a good person, my father definitely won't hate you anymore. For the next half a month, Wang Dahua secretly took care of Zhang Laifu in an old, abandoned house until they were discovered by the villagers. At that time, over 100 men from the village gathered in Wang Dahua's yard, insisting on dragging Zhang Laifu out and beating him to death. To be honest, Zhang Laifu was extremely scared at that time, but he didn't want to implicate Wang Dahua, so he could only step out. Just as the villagers were about to make a move, Wang Dahua stood directly in front of Zhang Laifu. Whoever dares to touch him will have to step over my dead body. At this moment, Wang Dahua's image was personified in Zhang Laifu's eyes. He used to think he was tough, a formidable figure. Now, Zhang Laifu understood that a true hero didn't need a broad physique. It was something called courage. This time, Wang Dahua was a superhero in Zhang Laifu's eyes. Smack! The village chief slapped her. Rebellious daughter, do you know what you're doing? When this Zhang Laifu was violent towards us, did he ever consider our feelings? Zhang Laifu was teary-eyed. He couldn't bear to see the woman he liked being beaten and was about to rush out to admit his wrongs, letting them kill or beat him as they pleased. But before he could rush out, Wang Dahua shouted, "Don't mind me. Run quickly. If you don't run, I'll die right here for you to see." Zhang Laifu was scared by Wang Dahua and could only jump out of the back window. Wang Dahua's voice came again. "Remember our promise. Be a good person." Although Zhang Laifu left through the back window, there were also people guarding it. Fortunately, his skills were indeed good, and his injuries had mostly healed, he still managed to escape from the hands of several villagers. As for Wang Dahua, she was forcibly taken away. Later, Zhang Laifu no longer dared to come to Wang family village, but his heart longed for the woman he liked. Finally, he made up his mind and wrote a letter to Wang Dahua. Dahua, in the past I had no choice. Now I want to be a good person. Are you willing to come with me? The envelope also contained a bouquet of wildflowers. Wang Dahua replied, yes. In 3 days, I will come find you. And I want to tell you, sometimes wildflowers are more dazzling than diamonds. Zhang Laifu was enveloped in happiness and fantasy, waiting and waiting. But after several 3-day periods, he still hadn't seen Wang Dahua. Unable to rest easy, one early morning, he secretly sneaked back into the village and found Wang Dahua. Wang Dahua's expression was calm, but behind the calmness was an infinite complexity. Laifu, I'll sneak out tomorrow. You go buy the tickets first. We'll go to the capital together, okay? Zhang Laifu, filled with emotion, boarded the train to the capital. But Wang Dahua, in the second before getting on, separated from him. I never loved you. You should go. Zhang Laifu pressed his face against the train window, watching the receding figure of Wang Dahua, his eyes wide with disbelief. He didn't understand why Wang Dahua had lied to him. He was determined to find out. When he returned to the city again, it was half a year later. Wang Dahua was dead. Zhang Laifu was struck by lightning. After asking around, he learned that Wang Dahua had been drowned in a pig cage by the villagers. Zhang Laifu instantly went berserk. He was no longer the Zhang Laifu of the past. In this half a year, he had completely transformed. He directly led people back to the village. Just as he was preparing for a massacre, Wang Dahua's mother appeared. Zhang Laifu, what are you doing? Auntie, I want to avenge Dahua. Zhang Laifu didn't dare to be rough with Wang's mother, because when Wang Dahua was taking care of him, her mother knew. Just based on the fact that her mother hadn't driven him out of the old house, Zhang Laifu couldn't do anything to her. Come with me. In Wang Dahua's home, Zhang Laifu faced Wang Dahua's mother. The village chief sighed and left. Dahua is not dead. Her brother saved her at that time. Later, our family sent her out of the village. We don't know where she went specifically. Zhang Laifu was instantly overjoyed. So Wang Dahua was still alive. Really? That's great. But why didn't she come to find me? Wang's mother glared at Zhang Laifu, almost wanting to tear him apart. You beast! Why don't you ask her why she was put in a pig cage? Zhang Laifu was stunned. Wang's mother, it's all because of you. You left, and Dahua became pregnant. When the villagers found out, this kind of thing is absolutely not allowed in our Wang family village. Those people tied her up. Dahua's father and I tried everything, but we couldn't save her. Fortunately, in the end, Dahua's brother saved her and let her leave this place. Zhang Laifu's eyes widened. Then, the child, I think it must be gone. After all, Dahua was in such danger in the water at that time. Zhang Laifu was utterly devastated. He searched for a long, long time, but never got any news of Wang Dahua again. Finally, he returned to the capital alone. I must be a good person. I hope to see Dahua again one day. Dahua will definitely come looking for me. I left her my address and contact information. And Zhang Laifu has been waiting ever since. Young Master Lin, do you think I was wrong? But all these years, why didn't she come looking for me? If she had tried to find me once, I would have protected her for life, even if it meant being shattered to pieces. And when she saw me at the manor, she didn't offer any explanation. I love her so much, but she won't give me a chance. Butler Fu's cheeks were wet with tears. For the first time, Lin Ran saw the sorrow of an old man on this old butler's face. And I really don't understand, why wasn't she willing to leave with me back then? Did she really have no feelings for me at all? Lin Ran sighed in his heart. He had to admit, he was impressed by this story. Lin Ran patted Butler Fu's shoulder. Nanny Wang has you in her heart. A woman who was willing to bear your child when you weren't married. Just based on that, she has you in her heart. And I've known Nanny Wang for several years. I have great faith in her character. As for why she didn't leave with you back then, and why she's been unwilling to see you since, perhaps that's an answer you need to find for yourself. Lin Ran's words instantly enlightened Butler Fu. As the saying goes, one can't see the forest for the trees. His obsession was too deep, causing him to look at the problem from the wrong direction. Right, that's it. I need to get Dahua's forgiveness. Women need to be coaxed. I love her, so I must give her my all. Young master, do you think I was really wrong in the past? Lin Ran didn't expect Butler Fu to be a bit of a love-struck fool and said helplessly, I don't know if you were wrong or not, but I never expected that at your age, you truly have the potential to be an old simp. Young master, you're joking. What is love, and what is regret? Lin Ran sighed. Yao Yao said if you're an unfaithful man, you should just kill yourself. You figured out. Butler Fu's pupils quaked. Then, am I? Maybe? Of course, as a man, I support you in seeking that answer from Nanny Wang yourself. At that moment, Nanny Wang came out of the specialist's office. Zhang Fu, you have no right to see my grandson, but since you know now, come with me and see the child. Then she came to Lin Ran. Young Master Lin, I'm sorry, I was impulsive just now. I still want to work at the manor. The doctor had just told her there was hope for the child, but it would require a great deal of money. Lin Ran, of course you're welcome back, Nanny Wang. I also came to see your grandson. On the way to the ward, Lin Ran also began to ask about the child's condition. It turned out the child had leukemia. Whether he could survive depended not only on the hospital, but also on luck. Lin Ran instantly felt that Nanny Wang had it incredibly tough. Where are his parents? Lin Ran asked this question, and Nanny Wang's whole body stiffened. Then she started to cry. The child's parents have both passed away. It's all my fault for not being capable enough, otherwise things wouldn't have turned out this way. Lin Ran took a sharp breath, and Zhang Fu was also greatly shocked, because Nanny Wang's son was also Butler Fu's son. You mean, our son? Nanny Wang just cried silently, but said nothing. If it weren't for her grandson, Nanny Wang would probably have lost the motivation and courage to live long ago. The three of them came to the ward. Butler Fu followed behind, nervous to learn for the first time in so many years that he had a descendant. At the door, Lin Ran looked at the two of them. I'll go in first. You two talk out here for a bit. Talk about how you will face the child in a moment. Lin Ran knew that Butler Fu wanted to see the child, but even more, he wanted to talk to Nanny Wang, so he created this opportunity for them. Whether the result was getting together or tearing each other apart, it had to be faced. Moreover, there were some unpleasant things that Butler Fu had to bear, and Lin Ran didn't want to get involved. Walking into the ward, there was only one small child in the room now. The child was currently sleeping. Lin Ran did not disturb him, but sat quietly by the bed, looking at the child. His eyelashes were long, his skin was pale, but he didn't seem to be sleeping peacefully. His brow was constantly furrowed. Lin Ran just watched him like that, with no intention of going out, because he knew the two outside definitely needed to communicate, and if he went out, he would surely interrupt them. Just then, the child's eyes moved and slowly opened. When the little boy saw that there was someone by his bed, he was first stunned, then his eyes filled with pleasant surprise. Lin Ran also froze for a moment looking at the boy's black eyes, a strange sense of familiarity. And this boy's eyes were mischievous and clever, as if he had a special playful feeling. What's your name? How old are you? Lin Ran broke the silence with a very traditional opening. The little boy was very thin and weak, but he still showed a happy smile and said, My name is Wang Anjian. Grandma said this name will keep me safe and healthy. I'm 9.5 this year. Lin Ran felt his heart being squeezed. Hello, little friend Anjian. My name is Lin Ran. You can call me Brother Lin Ran. Brother Lin Ran, I missed you so much. Lin Ran. Do we know each other? Wang Anjian immediately covered his small mouth, but after thinking for a moment, he let go. No, we don't. I heard Grandma talk about you. Brother Lin Ran, are you here to see me? Yes, I am. I came to see you. You're so cute, so handsome. Wang Anjian's heart was thumping with excitement. Brother Lin Ran was praising him. Brother is very handsome too. Lin Ran found that Wang Anjian had a very good personality, much better than the average patient's. Perhaps it was due to the child's innocence. He hadn't particularly liked children before, but after seeing Wang Anjian, he started to like them a little. Perhaps he could also have a cute little child like this with Luo Yao. By the way, I brought you gifts. Lin Ran then took out one gift after another from his bag. Wang Anjian was full of novelty. These are all things I usually like to eat. And this is called a drone. It's a limited collector's edition. You can't even buy it. This is called drinks and sunflower seeds. You should know. When someone tells you a story, you can take it out and listen while eating. And this. As Lin Ran introduced them, Wang Anjian's eyes grew happier and happier as he looked at Lin Ran, and it was with a deep affection. Brother Lin Ran, thank you. You're the best brother to Anjian. Lin Ran was almost melted by this little child. How could there be such a cute little child? Why did God give such a cute child this kind of hardship? Anjian, do you have any wishes? Wang Anjian showed a happy smile and said, Wishes? I have one, but it has already come true. Now, what I want most is to live and to treat Grandma and Brother Lin Ran well. Lin Ran's heart was instantly struck. This child was truly a heart-wrenching little angel. Don't worry, you will be healthy. In the future, you will find a girl who loves you very much, and you will have a healthy baby. Wang Anjian's expression instantly fell. Brother Lin Ran is lying to me. I know about my illness. If it's not cured, it's impossible to get married and have children. Lin Ran was stunned, not expecting a child to understand so much. You'll be fine. I just heard your grandmother say that a matching bone marrow has been found. You're saved. Really? Wang Anjian's eyes widened in disbelief. Of course it's true. So you have to rest well, so the surgery can be successful. While Lin Ran was chatting with Wang Anjian, Butler Fu was also trying his best outside. No matter what Butler Fu said, Nanny Wang just kept crying, as if all the emotions of so many years had burst out on this day. In these tears, there was bitterness and sweetness. The bitterness was her fate. The sweetness was that her grandson was saved. Seeing these tears of mixed joy and sorrow, Butler Fu's heart broke. He finally couldn't take it anymore and pulled Nanny Wang into a hug. This hug, after decades, was finally completed in this way. Dawa, you've suffered. Nanny Wang pushed him away. If it weren't for Zhang Laifu back then, she wouldn't have been tied up by so many villagers. Even her own father, the village chief, had knelt down to the villagers. But that was how it was in that era. Family honor was more important than anything. In the ice-cold water, she had nearly lost her life several times. Even after she survived, her child was pointed at and gossiped about during his upbringing. With great difficulty, her child grew up, got married, and started a family. Nanny Wang also saw hope in life. But unexpectedly, a car accident took her life away. Both her son and daughter-in-law died in the crash. At that time, Nanny Wang almost committed suicide, but looking at the young Wang Anjian, her heart softened. When it rains, it pours. Misfortune always finds the unfortunate. Wang Anjian got leukemia. Nanny Wang felt like the sky was falling. Now the child was 9 years old, but he had never even been to school. Don't touch me. Wang Dahua have come this far on my own. I don't need anyone's sympathy. For the first time, Butler Fu knew what it felt like for his heart to ache so much he couldn't breathe. I'm so sorry. Without thinking, he knew how this woman had gotten through these decades. It must have been incredibly difficult. Nanny Wang didn't want to bother with Butler Fu and sat alone on a bench by the door. In a little while, when you see Anjian, I hope you don't bring him any negative emotions. I know, but Dahua, there are some things I must say to you. For so many years, I've been wanting to find a chance to say them, but I could never find you. Actually, I've always loved you deeply. Just then, a young couple passing by looked strangely at this handsome old man. An old man saying, I love you to an old lady always felt a bit strange. An old man saying, I love you to an old lady always felt a bit strange. But then again, who stipulated that saying I love you must have an age limit? Zhang Laifu, at your age, saying such things to me. Do you even believe it yourself? Butler Fu ignored them and also sat on the bench next to Nanny Wang, but neither of them looked at the other. Butler Fu lowered his head and tapped his nervous fingers. I believe it. Of course I know my own heart. I feel so sorry for you now. All these years, you've been taking care of the child and the child's child, being both a father and a mother. It wasn't easy. You've suffered. Do you remember when we first met? I have a good memory. We met on the beach. I was seriously injured. As he spoke, a rare look of happiness appeared on Butler Fu's face. I just looked at you, kept looking. At that time, you had 2 braids this long, very beautiful. And you were wearing a plaid shirt and black cloth shoes, right? At that time, you took me to your family's and used old house to settle me down. The second time we met, you brought me handmade osmanthus steam buns. The fragrance. You even put your pickled vegetables in the buns. I even said it was the best meal I had ever eaten. You smiled like a pure gardenia flower. Nanny Wang's scalp tingled. She felt Butler Fu's words were so cheesy it made one want to die. But this was also her past happiness. As a result, she just listened quietly, her eyes also starting to moisten. Butler Fu. In the end, I ate it all. At that time, I asked you, aren't you afraid the villagers will give you trouble for saving me? You said, I'm not afraid. At that time, I was thinking, how could there be such a kind and brave woman? At hashtag, yen%. Later you said you'd come with me to the capital, but you didn't get on the train. I watched you from the train. At that time, the light was shining on your body. I was still thinking, come on, wouldn't it be great if we could live together? Stop talking. Nanny Wang interrupted Butler Fu. Her tears also gradually moistened her eyes. She glanced at Butler Fu. I don't need you to recall these things. I don't blame you for what happened back then. It was all my own choice. Butler Fu sighed. Can you tell me why? Why didn't you come to the capital with me back then? Nanny Wang closed her eyes and spoke only after a long while. Do you really want to know? Of course. In the past, I didn't have the chance to face it with you. Now I want to know what you faced. And I promised you I would be a good person. I think I've done it. Butler Fu gently soothed Nanny Wang's back as he replied. Then, Nanny Wang told the story of the past. The day I was supposed to get on the train, it was my mother who let me out. If I didn't go back, my father would definitely punish my mother. When I came out, I promised my mother that I would see you one last time, and then we would have no further contact. Butler Fu, is that all? That's all. Later, I found out I was pregnant. I regretted it then and wanted to find you again. But before I could get out, someone discovered I was pregnant. A doctor at the maternity hospital was from our village, and others found out. And then I was. Let's not talk about that part. You should know. Butler Fu. Then why didn't you come find me later? Because after I was saved, I started to hate you. I hated you for making me leave my hometown. Hated you for making me too ashamed to go back. Hated you for making me lose face. Of course, I hated you even more for not jumping off the train that day and forcibly taking me with you. Since that was the case, I decided I would never look for you, so you would never know you had a son. Butler Fu was shaken by Nanny Wang's logic, his pupils beginning to tremble again, but Nanny Wang's voice continued. Actually, over the years, I've wavered many times thinking of finding you, but I could never convince myself to forgive you. Later, my son and daughter-in-law had their car accident, and I completely lost hope. If it weren't for Anjian, I wouldn't have been able to go on. Fubo fell silent. He could feel the bitterness Wang Ma had endured all these years. Do you hate me now? Or, do you still love me? I don't hate you. As Anjian slowly grew up, I realized there were better things in this world worth striving for, and so I gradually stopped hating you. This is all fate. Once the hate was let go, the love was gone too. Fubo never expected such an answer. So, from beginning to end, it was never a misunderstanding, just that the two of them were not fated to be together. Perhaps if he had forcibly taken her away back then, none of this would have happened. It turned out Wang Ma was not heartless. She had once loved him. Dahua, I'm sorry. I know it's too late to say anything now, but I want to use the rest of my life to treat you well. Just then, Wang Ma heard hearty laughter from the hospital room. There's no need. I've gotten used to being alone all these years. We should go in and see the child first. As Wang Ma got up to open the door, Fubo quickly said, Dahua, I want to ask you a question. Go ahead. Am I a heartless man? Wang Dahua paused, then finally shook her head. No, this outcome was all my choice. If I had made a different choice back then, it wouldn't necessarily have been better. After speaking, Wang Ma opened the hospital room door first. Fubo sighed and followed. The bad news was that Wang Ma still hadn't forgiven him. The good news was that he didn't have to take his own life. Grandma, I missed you so much. Seeing Wang Dahua, Wang Anjian's face lit up with happiness. Grandma missed you too. Young Master Lin, thank you. You should go back and rest. We won't trouble you with Anjian anymore. Lin Ran thought for a moment and stood up, giving Fubo a meaningful look before leaving the room alone. This place should be left to the three of them. Suddenly, a familiar feeling washed over him. Lin Ran turned to look out the window. Those eyes just now seemed so familiar. Blue? Lin Ran glanced again at Wang Anjian lying in the hospital bed. His eyes were clear and innocent, and he gave Lin Ran a very happy smile. Lin Ran felt that something was not right, but he couldn't pinpoint what it was. Since returning to this world, his intuition had always been extremely accurate. Take Wang Anjian, for example. He must have had some interaction with him before. Otherwise, it would be impossible for someone to like another person without even having spoken. If it did happen, it would have to be love at first sight based on looks, but that possibility didn't exist between Lin Ran and Wang Anjian. In that case, there was only one truth, no matter how shocking that truth might be. Xiaohei. After Lin Ran left, Wang Ma stayed with little Anjian, while Fubo stood behind them for a long, long time. Grandma, who is this grandpa? Wang Anjian saw Fubo staring at him, and his small head was filled with a big question. He is a strange grandpa. Fubo's whole body trembled, and he instantly felt dejected. But there was still time. He knew he couldn't make Wang Ma change her mind overnight. He began to swear silently to himself that he must make up for this regret. He, Zhang Laifu, could also be a champion of pure love, just like the young Miss and young Master Lin. On the way back to the manor, Luo Yao was already going frantic. Why hadn't she come to the hospital with Lin Ran? First, she couldn't be bothered with such matters. Second, she had more important things to handle. With Lin Ran conveniently away, Luo Yao used this short period to take care of two things. In the manor's secret room, a dozen people were imprisoned, the so-called disciples of Luo Tongji. In truth, each of them was quite capable. All of them reject from that place. Normally, reject should no longer be in this world, but Luo Tongji had secretly saved them and raised them to serve her. In the Luo family, no one was unselfish because those who weren't selfish were no longer fit to survive. I'll give you 3 chances. Tell me everything you know, and you can keep your lives. For people like them, torture was not something they feared. Having grown up with it, they could be said to be among the most tortured people in the world. You ungrateful brat. We were just Luo Tongji's blades. Now that she's dead, we pose no threat to you. Let us go, and we'll tell you everything you want to know. But if you plan to kill us, you know that we've all crawled out of piles of dead bodies. A few of them recognized Luo Yao. They had either fought alongside her or against her, and some had even been personally killed by her. 2 more chances. Luo Yao's voice was devoid of any emotion. Everyone fell silent. It was precisely because they had crawled out of piles of dead bodies that they cherished life even more. So, every one of them wanted to live, and they had experienced Luo Yao's ruthlessness since they were young. If we talk, will you let us go or lock us up here for life? Luo Yao only said they could keep their lives, nothing else. Naturally, someone would seize this loophole. If Luo Yao kept her promise not to kill them, but locked them up for life, it would be worse than death. Luo Yao only said she would spare their lives. As long as they weren't dead, it counted, even if they were blinded, deafened, or had their limbs broken. 1 more chance. Just as someone else was about to speak, the leader shouted, "We'll talk." It was Luo Tongji who found Luo Wushuang. They planned this assassination together. Luo Tongji was responsible for holding you back, and Luo Wushuang was responsible for mobilizing us to besiege the manor and capture Lin Ran. If Luo Tongji succeeded, they would control the entire Luo family. If she failed, we would use Lin Ran to threaten you. Our original plan was for Luo Tongji to hold you off for at least a day and a night. We never expected you to come back so quickly. We also don't know why Luo Wushuang kept telling us not to make a move, otherwise we wouldn't have been captured by you. Luo Yao narrowed her eyes. As expected, Luo Wushuang was involved. In that case, I'll tell you the answer before you die. It's because Luo Wushuang wanted to be the fisherman who reaps the benefits. What a pity. Hey, hey, hey. Men, send these people to see Luo Tongji. Everyone's eyes widened. You ungrateful brat. You're going back on your word? Luo Yao said coldly. You know it too. I am an ungrateful brat. How could I not be selfish? After all, if I had fallen into your hands, I don't need to tell you what would have happened to me. So, let me ask you, if that had happened, would you have let me go? Luo Yao's question was like hitting a mute button. No one could answer. If Luo Yao had really fallen into their hands, her fate would have been tragic indeed. No one who came from that place would ever make a decision they would regret. Luo Yao left the secret room, and earth-shattering cries echoed from within. She didn't do it herself because she had to take care of another matter before Lin Ran returned. A short while later, in the underground entertainment city, Luo Yao, wearing a baseball cap, walked in and waited quietly in the room where the bodyguards had been dealt with last time. Soon, 3 disheveled people were brought in. Luo Yao looked up at the 3 of them. I heard that you've been telling everyone my husband is in love with your Lu Rushue. The 3 members of the Lu family stared wide-eyed. Looking at Luo Yao's icy gaze, they felt like they were suffocating. They certainly knew who Luo Yao was. They recognized her. After all, she had been on a live stream not long ago. At that time, Luo Yao, though not as cold as she was now, was still unapproachable. But today, Luo Yao had clearly come with malicious intent. Mother Lu took a deep breath and pleaded in a pitiful tone. President Luo, we weren't just making things up. Actually, Rushue and little Ran have liked each other since they were children. We old folks have seen it clearly. Luo Yao fiddled with her beautiful nails, wondering how deep a wound they would leave if she plunged them into Lu Rushue. You don't know yet, do you? Your precious child, Lu Rushue, has been sentenced to 16 years in prison for murder. Lu Ritian, impossible. There must be a mistake. How could a good child like Rushue kill someone? Luo Yao revealed a smile of enjoyment. You know what? This isn't the main thing I wanted to tell you. I've arranged for someone at the suburban women's prison to give her a special welcome. For the next 16 years, she will live in agony. Want to see? With that, Lu Ming handed a tablet to them. When they saw Lu Rushue's miserable state in prison, their eyes widened in shock. Although you're not good people, I won't kill you directly. After all, our Ran doesn't like me killing people. So, I plan to give you a taste of suffering. Lu Ritian finally snapped. Seeing his daughter's current misery, how could he remain calm? Luo Yao, what right do you have to treat us like this? Do you think you can really do whatever you want? Luo Yao didn't even look at Lu Ritian, just said flatly, Lu Ritian, 18 years ago, your wife found out you were keeping a mistress. She wanted to divorce you and divide the assets. For your own benefit, You personally sent your wife away and let your father, that old beast, defile her. Then she pointed at Father Lu and Mother Lu. And you two not only covered for him, but also helped dismember the body. People like you really should be reunited with Lu Rushue. The Lu father and son stared wide-eyed, looking at Luo Yao in disbelief as if she were a demon. You're lying. What proof do you have? Mother Lu looked at Father Lu and slapped him across the face. You old beast. Have you no shame? I was wondering how a perfectly healthy person could be beaten to death by her son. Father Lu wailed, slander. This is blatant slander. Can't you see she's just trying to trick you? Mother Lu froze. What had she just said? Luo Yao sneered. Do I need to trick you? She glanced at Lu Meng, who shoved the evidence in their faces. This was what Lu Meng's top detective team had recently uncovered, and she too had been shocked by the Lu family's actions. Seeing the concrete evidence, Mother Lu collapsed to the floor, feeling the world spin. You old beast, you're not human. I worked so hard for this family, and you repeatedly wronged me. Luo Yao saw that their mental states were on the verge of collapse and prepared to deliver the final blow. Crying is useless. Let me think. How many years will you get for this? You might just get a bullet. The three members of the Lu family were all terrified. No, please don't. Miss Luo, I beg you, don't send us to the police. Luo Yao, who does our Ran like? You. He likes you. That rotten girl Lu Rushue is not worthy of young Master Lin. Right. Lu Rushue is a piece of shit. How dare she try to compete with you for Lin Ran? Our Lu family doesn't have such a shameless woman. Luo Yao's lips curled. She enjoyed this process of psychological torture. I have a project in South Africa, and I'm a bit short-staffed. The Lu family members nodded their heads like garlic being pounded. We'll go. Luo Yao smiled and took out her phone to check Lin Ran's location. All right, then I'll arrange for someone to send you over. She stood up and left. Luo Yao had no desire to personally deal with these three. They were dirty, so she prepared to let others do it. By the way, the project in South Africa is confidential, so I need you to keep your mouth shut. The three of them nodded like garlic being pounded. Yes, we won't say a thing. We definitely won't say a thing. Luo Yao, you've misunderstood. Only the mute can truly keep a secret. The Lu family, Luo Yao didn't want to waste any more time. She stood up and signaled to Lu Meng. Lu Meng nodded and had the bodyguards restrain the three. The tongue-pulling contest began. Luo Yao glanced down at her phone and then left. Her RM was coming back soon. She had seen it on her phone. On Luo Yao's way back to the manor, the news of Lu Rushue's 16-year sentence spread like wildfire. Not only did the students at Capital University know, but the Lin family also found out. Seeing the news of Lu Rushue's imprisonment, Lin Tianba's eyes widened in disbelief. Rushue is in jail. Lu Yuanmei, this must be Lin Ran's doing. Lin Jian was also sitting on the floor, a mix of fear and terror on his face. Will brother come after us too? Lin Tianba sighed. Son, don't be afraid. He wouldn't dare do anything to us. After all, we're family. Although Lin Tianba also felt a chill down his spine, he refused to believe Lin Ran was behind this. That rebellious son? Capable of something so crazy? Ultimately, it's not that Lin Ran is formidable, but that Luo Yao is. And looking at the essence of the matter, it might not even have anything to do with them. It's a fact that Rushue killed Huahani. No one forced her to do it, right? Hearing Lin Tianba say this, Lin Jian finally relaxed a little and nodded. Yes, Sister Rushue was just impulsive. Sigh, it's all my fault. Lin Tianba gave Lin Jian a strange look. Son, it's a good thing Lu Rushue is in jail. Otherwise, the scandal between you two would be known nationwide, which wouldn't be good for either of you. Now that Lu Rushue is in jail, you can use this opportunity to try and deny it. After all, with today's technology, who knows if those videos were faked? Lin Jian was suddenly startled. Right. Sister Rushue and I are innocent. It was all brother's setup. He faked the videos to frame me. It's my fault for making brother unhappy, which is why he used such means against me. It's my fault. Lin Tianba was taken aback. Is that so? Lin Jian, Dad, I know brother has never liked me, but Sister Rushue and I are completely innocent. I need to hire a PR team. Lin Tianba fell silent. He felt that Lin Jian was becoming a bit delusional. Given our family's current situation, we need to think about our future. I've thought about it. After all, I'm a former chairman of the Saran Group. It wouldn't be too much to ask Luo Yao to give me a position now, would it, if I put aside my pride? This time, not only Lin Jian, but even Lu Yuanmei's eyes widened. Honey, Luo Yao won't agree, will she? Lin Tianba smiled confidently. She will definitely agree, because I am Lin Ran's biological father. If she doesn't agree, then I won't let Lin Ran date her. Even if it fails, it's no big deal. She's just a woman. Is she really going to hit me, her father-in-law? Lin Jian thought it over carefully. This method actually seemed worth a try. But Lu Yuemei kept frowning. Honey, I'm not worried about her hitting you. If you go to Lin Ran, he might just give you a beating. But if you go to Luo Yao, will that crazy woman just kill you? Lin Tianba immediately slammed the table in anger, and dust instantly filled the rental apartment. Impossible. I am Lin Ran's father. She must treat me with respect. Lin Jian quickly stopped Lu Yuemei. After all, if Lin Tianba failed, he would just suffer a bit more, but if he succeeded, wouldn't their Lin family be able to catch a break? If Lin Ran even had a change of heart and understood the importance of a father's love, he might even return to his old self. Mom, Dad has a point. Don't stand in his way. Seeing her son's expression, Lu Yuemei instantly understood his meaning. Honey, I'm sorry. I was being short-sighted. At the very least, Luo Yao should call you Dad. We aren't asking for much. As long as she can help you settle your debts and provide for our old age, letting little Ran be with her isn't out of the question. At this point, Lu Yuemei remembered the manor from Lin Ran and Luo Yao's live stream. It was so luxurious, it made her burn with jealousy. And they're childhood sweethearts. In the end, they're a good match. That kid, little Ran, knew Luo Yao since they were young, but never said a word. Lin Tianba sank into deep thought. Yes, I used to think Lin Ran had become Luo Yao's boy toy. I never imagined they knew each other since childhood. If that rebellious son had told me, how could I, as his father, have stood in their way? Sigh. In the end, it's all their fault for keeping it a secret. Lin Tianba bitterly resented Lin Ran for hiding the truth from him, and even more so for Lin Ran's sudden change in personality that led to a series of troubles. Now he, the father, was living in a rental dump not fit for a dog, while Lin Ran was enjoying life in a luxurious manor villa. Just thinking about it made Lin Tianba feel as nauseated as if someone had fed him a mouthful of shit. His own failure was terrible, but his son's success was even more heart-wrenching. And his own failure was also caused by that rebellious son, Lin Ran. At this thought, Lin Tianba angrily smashed the already dilapidated table with a single slap. Lu Yuemei and her son exchanged a look, but said nothing. The angrier Lin Tianba got, the more he would blame Lin Ran. Dongtian Manor. Luo Yao had just returned to Villa No. 1 when Lin Ran arrived. Yao, let me tell you, the story of Fubo and Wang Ma is truly a bit regretful. Lin Ran recounted Fubo's story, but Luo Yao didn't say much. She only cared about Lin Ran. Ran, will you be like Fubo, abandoning your wife and child? I don't have a son, and I won't abandon my wife. Then do you want a son? No, the two of us are just fine. Although children are lovely, having a child would affect our relationship too much. A child would take away your love, and also take away my love. Luo Yao's lips curled into a smile. Her thoughts coincided with Lin Ran's. Neither of them particularly wanted children. But if Lin Ran really wanted one, she would satisfy him. After all, for so many years, she had always satisfied Lin Ran's every need. As long as Lin Ran didn't like other women, he would always be her husband. If he fell in love with another woman, then Lin Ran might become a dead man. Not only would Lin Ran become a dead man, but that woman would too. What was that saying? Falling in love with a Yandera isn't scary. What's scary is being loved by a Yandera. What about falling in love with the person a Yandera loves? What about being loved by the person loved by a Yandera? And what if the person a Yandera loves is also a Yandera and falls in love with you? It's all just stories, enough to write several novels. One must be rational. After all, people don't like Yanderas. They just crave to be loved. For example, if the Yandera were ugly, would you still like them? You'd be in for a world of pain. Fortunately, Luo Yao was a great beauty. Getting on top of Luo Yao. Image of Luo Yao rescuing Lin Ran in an abandoned warehouse to be inserted here. You like Wang Anjian? Lin Ran didn't know how Luo Yao knew about Wang Anjian. He had just seen the child and come straight back to see Luo Yao, and he had only told her the story of Fubo and Wang Ma, without mentioning Wang Anjian. But Luo Yao must have her formidable ways. He's all right. The kid is quite cute. I wouldn't say I like him a lot, but I don't dislike him. If we can, we should help him. After all, he's Fubo's grandson. Luo Yao nodded. I've already contacted the Yi family's head doctor to go. Don't worry. Lin Ran hadn't expected Luo Yao to personally contact a doctor for Wang Anjian, who said his wife was heartless. She was so full of compassion. She was just like him, saying heartless things, but always remembering those who were good to her. And, just like him, she was ruthless to her enemies. Yao Yao, I'm finding that you're becoming more and more like me. It should be that you're becoming more and more like me. That's why we're a true matching couple. After saying this, Lin Ran noticed Luo Yao's eyes fill with emotion, a look only he could understand. When one is feeling fine, one must get moving more. A long time passed very briefly. Afterward, the two lay in each other's arms. President Luo, just now. Lu Meng was instantly dumbfounded and quickly covered her eyes. Fortunately, Lin Ran and Luo Yao were already finished, otherwise Lu Meng would have gotten a live show. But Lin Ran was currently shirtless, while Luo Yao was wearing a semi-transparent nightgown. Lu Meng felt a secret terror at her own rashness. Was she going to be killed? If it's not important, you know the consequences. Luo Yao's cold voice pierced through. Lu Meng felt she was just one step away from death. President Luo, I'm sorry. I saw the door was ajar. It was my mistake. Lu Meng's heart turned cold. She felt Luo Yao's gaze wanted to slice her to pieces. By now, Lin Ran had put on a robe and was about to step out. You two talk. I'll step aside. He thought Lu Meng was there to discuss some business matter. Ran, don't go. There's nothing you need to avoid. Go on, speak. While telling Lin Ran to stay, Luo Yao gave Lu Meng a command with her eyes, as if to say that if Lu Meng couldn't report something important, she would make her taste the bitterness of life. President Luo, young Master Lin, just now Lin Jian released a statement, saying he was framed and that the video was a fake. As Lu Meng spoke, she placed a stack of documents on the table, silently thanking her lucky stars. Fortunately, President Luo had previously instructed that anything related to Lin Ran must be reported immediately, no matter what she was doing. Lin Ran's eyes widened. No way. He's trying to whitewash even this? Does he think the netizens today are all idiots? Lu Meng said with a troubled expression. There's indeed a group of netizens who chose to believe him. Lin Ran was speechless. So there really were idiots out there. Wifey, what do you think about this? Luo Yao looked at Lin Ran affectionately and said, Ran, one moment you call me Yao Yao, the next wifey, and the next wife. Are you a fickle Ran? Lin Ran was momentarily stunned. He hadn't expected Luo Yao's train of thought to be so peculiar and jumpy. He was talking to her about Lin Jian, and she was thinking about his terms of endearment. You don't like it? I said I'd vary the names. Actually, no matter the name, the meaning is pretty much the same. Luo Yao shook her head. I like it. I like whatever you call me. Lin Ran showed a cute smile and asked, Master, what do you think about this matter? I'll watch it with my eyes. Lin Ran's face darkened. He didn't expect Luo Yao to be cracking jokes now. Master, I'm being serious. Luo Yao's lips curled. She seemed to like this form of address even more. If it were me, I would first understand the enemy, then consider whether to go for a quick kill or slow torture. But a lowlife like Lin Jian doesn't even count as an enemy. He's not worthy. Wifey's right. The current Lin Jian poses no threat at all. He's just at my mercy. Lin Jian really doesn't have what it takes to be an opponent. Compared to a quick kill, I prefer slow torture. After all, there are fewer and fewer people to torture these days. Lu Rushue was in jail, Hua Haney was dead, and the three from the Lu family were under control. With these people out of the picture, the options for torture were getting scarce. If the three beasts of the Lin family are gone too, wouldn't my life become dull? Luo Yao was silent for a moment, not revealing that she had sent the three members of the Lu family to South Africa. After all, it wasn't an important matter. You just need me. With me around, how could you ever be bored? Lin Ran ruffled Luo Yao's hair affectionately. Her smooth hair seemed to have been specially styled, and with one touch from Lin Ran, it became messy. Of course, I belong to you, but life needs seasoning. It's like cooking. The main ingredients are key to a successful dish, but the seasoning is also indispensable. Lin Ran, afraid Luo Yao would misunderstand, quickly explained. So what does our Ran plan to do? To be honest, with things having developed this far, Lin Ran didn't particularly care about the Lin family anymore. But to expect him to give up on his revenge against them was absolutely impossible. Lin Ran was no saint who would let go of a grudge. The greatest kindness he could muster was to not actively bully others. But if he saw someone being bullied on the street, sorry, he wouldn't get involved either. This was Lin Ran. He didn't bully people and didn't meddle in others' business, but you'd better not mess with him. Of course, I'll counterattack, but not right away. I can handle this myself. You don't need to worry, wifey. After all, they're not worthy of your effort. What I'm more concerned about now is how to love you to make you happy. Lin Ran's words filled Luo Yao with a sense of happiness. So many years of effort had truly paid off, and with the best possible reward. Lu Meng, you can leave now. Yes, President Luo. There's a video conference in an hour. Out. Yes. As Lu Meng left, Luo Yao's expression turned crimson. All right now. It's our game time again. Lin Ran's body tensed as he saw the bracelet that suddenly appeared in Luo Yao's hand. Yao Yao, I just disarmed. Luo Yao's lips curled. So, Aran loves me, right? An hour later, Luo Yao looked at Lin Ran, aggrieved and sad. Aran, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be like this. I just couldn't help it. Luo Yao had hurt Lin Ran again, but Lin Ran was already used to it. I'm not afraid of this. I'm worried about your injuries. The movement might pull at your wounds. Lin Ran's concern instantly broke through Luo Yao's defenses, feeling as if her heart had been struck. Aran. She felt she needed to restrain herself, or Lin Ran might really run away one day. Although he loved her very much now, this love was mixed with too much pain. Aran, I have a meeting to attend. I'll come find you later. Don't run off, okay? Okay, you go ahead. After Luo Yao left, Lin Ran grimaced. No wonder Xiao He said Luo Yao was ruthless. It was absolutely true. To be able to be so rough with her own husband, she was truly one of a kind. Unbelievable. Only now did Lin Ran take out his phone to check the news online. Sure enough, he found Lin Jian's confession video. In the video, Lin Jian had a look of sadness and grievance, just like Luo Yao when she had made a mistake earlier. But Luo Yao was genuinely sad, while Lin Jian was faking it. The green tea's acting skills were still on point. Hello, fellow netizens. I am Lin Jian, the one you call the #1 orthopedic master. Actually, #%yen. Lastly, I want to say, I really don't blame my brother, nor do I blame Sister Rushua. They are both innocent. The only one to blame is me, for not having the heart to expose the truth, which led Rushua to a moment of confusion and onto the path of crime. I'm also sorry to my brother. Because of my existence, I took away some of our father's love. It's only right that my brother hates me. It's all my fault for not expressing my love for my brother in time. I also hope that all of you watching, if you have something to say, you must say it. Don't bury your love for your family. Lin Jian spoke with sincere emotion, but Lin Ran felt like vomiting just watching it. He almost threw up on the spot. Even at this point, he was still trying to drag him down with his two-faced act. Did he think netizens were all fools? Today is the last day of November. In the blink of an eye, I've known everyone for over 2 months. Thank you all for your support. I truly, truly love you all. May you all live well for the rest of your lives. Lin Ran fought back his disgust and scrolled through the comments. Those who stop updating are dogs. Looking at Lin Jian, it doesn't seem like he's lying. Anyway, I believe him. If he's lying, may his parents get hit by a car. 4th floor of the postpartum center. I think this feels like a forced attempt to clear his name. After all, my title of contemporary #1 orthopedic master is not for nothing. Trying to be a big internet perv. I believe Lin Jian's words because he was crying. What can we forgive? He's still a child. Committing crimes before 14. Is Lin Ran necessarily the victim? I don't think so. I've seen him act quite arrogantly. Maybe Lin Jian is the real victim. There are so many morons. Lin Ran cursed. The comments online were a mix of good and bad. He didn't have high expectations for them, but he couldn't help but curse when he saw the idiots. He had a temper too, you know. He would curse at injustice and cry at sad things. He had always been an ordinary person. 9-turn large intestine, a son of heaven. Lin Jian must have been bullied by Lin Ran for years. Look at him. It doesn't look like he's acting at all. Besides, Lin Ran holds shares in the Saran group, so the Lin family must be indulging him in every way. How could they bully him? Fan group is full, second group is open. Lin Tianba is a scumbag father of the century. No clearing that. Lin Jian is a confirmed orthopedic master. What's there to discuss? You bunch of idiots, I really feel sad for you. Did the national football team make it to the World Cup? I want to see Lin Ran go live and confront Lin Jian. 3 updates a day and you're still picky. Why does this feel so two-faced? It's making my skin crawl. Is Lin Jian really a man? The mission of a simp. The person above has discovered the blind spot. My hair is standing on end right now. Lin Ran closed his eyes and shut off his phone. He really couldn't watch anymore. Although many netizens were clear-headed, there were truly some who needed to eat a mouthful of shit to wake up. In the online world where rumors spread like wildfire, maintaining silence is rational and staying clear-headed is wise. As for some people, they only realize that shit tastes bad after they've eaten it, and only realize they were wrong after they followed the trend. Did they want to be wrong from the start? No, they were just swept along. Of course, the scariest thing isn't realizing you're wrong after eating shit. It's those who eat shit and still say it's delicious. Lin Ran sighed helplessly, feeling a sense of sorrow for this online world. In reality, with just a slight move, Lin Jian would be crushed. But he didn't want to deal with it right now because Luo Yao's injuries hadn't healed yet. After all, the internet could affect his mood, and with a bad mood, he was afraid of passing that negativity to Luo Yao when he saw her. He didn't want to be with Luo Yao in a bad mood. However, taking advantage of this time to see how the Lin family was doing now was a good idea. After all, that would improve his mood. Didn't Lu Meng just leave a stack of documents about the Lin family? Lin Ran picked up the file and opened it, and was instantly stunned. As expected of the special assistant to the top table, her abilities are too strong. Through the documents, he not only found out the Lin family's current address, but also details of Lin Tianba's daily life, Lin Jian's washed-up state, in which clients Lu Yueme visited each day. It was all crystal clear. What Lin Ran found unbelievable was that Lin Tianba and Lu Yueme hadn't broken up yet. This. Could Lin Tianba be a cuckold saint? Or has Lu Yueme's green tea artistry reached a level where she can ignore infidelity? If that were the case, then Lu Yueme was too formidable. Being with Lin Tianba was a waste of her talent. Continuing to read, the reasons why Lu Yueme and Lin Tianba reconciled were clearly stated. This was too amazing. No wonder he had no secrets in front of Luo Yao. Her subordinates were practically better than detectives. I used to think Lu Rushue's green tea skills were good. Later, I found Lin Jian was even better. Now, I finally know Lu Yueme is the true master. Next, Lin Ran saw a paternity test report concerning Lin Jian and Lin Tianba. Lin Ran smiled. He didn't expect something like this. Don't panic when things happen. First, take a picture to commemorate it. Then, while Luo Yao was still in a meeting, Lin Ran also opened his computer and began to seriously prepare something. In the mountain stream behind the old Luo residence, Luo Wushuang stared at the two corpses on the ground, lost in thought. So, the so-called treasure is here. Luo Wushuang took out a key from his pocket and stared at it in a daze. Lin Ran, are you really cooperating sincerely? Second Master, Luo Tongji and her birds are all thoroughly dead. Should we leave now? Seeing that they hadn't found anything useful, the two bodyguards asked Luo Wushuang. Luo Wushuang showed a gentle smile. Leave? Come here. I have something to tell you. When the two bodyguards came before Luo Wushuang, in just a few seconds, they lost their strength and collapsed limply to the ground. Sorry, this is a forbidden area of the Luo family. You are not worthy of leaving here alive. To die here is your honor. Luo Wushuang left alone, leaving two more corpses behind. At the same time, in a hotel in Kyoto, a man and a woman were nestled together. Is this really okay? Don't worry. What do rich people care about the most? Face. As long as they realize I have the ability to make them lose face, it's only a matter of time before they pay to shut me up. When we have money, I'll take you abroad to live it up. These two people were none other than Lu Jian and Zhao Miao, who hadn't been seen for days. Hearing Lu Jian's words, Zhao Miao's eyes gradually moistened. But I still love Wu Zhishang. What should I do? Hearing Wu Zhishang's name, a trace of ruthlessness appeared in Lu Jian's eyes, but quickly turned into gentleness. Miao, it's all my fault. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't have broken up with Wu Zhishang. After this is over, I'll help you explain things to him. Zhao Miao shook her head. Forget it. You better not go. I'm afraid you two will fight as soon as you meet. Zhao Miao felt a bit conflicted. She was still thinking about getting back together with Wu Zhishang. Lu Jian was nice, but Wu Zhishang was great too. He was completely devoted to her, spent all his money on her, and held nothing back. If it weren't for Wu Zhishang, Lu Jian wouldn't be living so well either. One spent money on her, and she spent money on the other. The difference was clear. Most importantly, the current Wu Zhishang was not the same as before. He was the president of Nuanyo Media, and Nuanyo Media's popularity was currently unprecedented. Lu Jian, my mom is calling me home. I won't be with you for the next 2 days. Then you go ahead. I'll be waiting for you here. Zhao Miao left the hotel and came alone to the building of Nuanyo Media. She happened to run into a group of people leaving work. So, she stood by the red Ferrari and waited. Just now, she was shocked when she saw the Nuanyo Group building. She never expected that in just 2 months, Wu Zhishang's company already occupied an entire building. As long as she got back with Wu Zhishang, all of this would be hers in the future. Now was the perfect opportunity for her to show her worth. This position of the president's wife, she, Zhao Miao, was determined to have it. In the past, the only reason Wu Zhishang disliked her was because of that Lin Ran meddling. As long as Lin Ran wasn't around, she believed that with the emotional foundation she had with Wu Zhishang, she could definitely win him back. She needed money, and she also needed the emotional value that Wu Zhishang could provide. Lu Jian was just a close friend and couldn't give her that kind of feeling. But Zhao Miao waited and waited and waited for a long, long time, but she never saw Wu Zhishang. In a fit of anger, she rushed into the Nuanyo group building, only to be kicked out by security the next second. Zhao Miao was heartbroken. Wu Zhishang, this young lady, humbled myself to wait for you, and I can't even get your forgiveness, you dog of a man. Of course, Wu Zhishang couldn't hear these words. In the manor, Lin Ran stretched his back. Making a PPT is so tiring. Those office drones are really hardworking. Thank goodness I don't have to do this kind of thing every day. Just as he was about to lie down on the lounge chair to rest, someone reported, "Young Master Lin, Fubo is back. He's downstairs now." Lin Ran opened his eyes and walked out of the bedroom. Seeing Fubo, his first words were, "They didn't take your own life? It seems Wang Ma forgave you in the end." "Fubo, young Master Lin, you must be joking. Wang Ma hasn't forgiven me yet. It's more like she hasn't rejected my advances. In the future, I will use my entire life to make it up to her." Lin Ran looked at Fubo's head of white hair and twitched the corner of his mouth, saying, "Your future doesn't have much time left." Fubo was stunned, feeling a bit hurt. "I may be old, but I'm young at heart. And even if I only have one day left to live, I will pour all my love into Dahua." Lin Ran made a retching gesture. Even if there's only one day left, I will pour." Lin Ran and Fubo looked at each other and smiled, both understanding the feelings in each other's hearts. In his previous life, after Fubo had collected his body, he began his happy twilight years, but Lin Ran could see regret in Fubo's eyes. So, the regret was here. In this life, because of his own changes, it also led to the intersection of Fubo and Wang Ma, so Fubo could make up for this regret. For Fubo, he had always held a state of respect and gratitude. Now, there was also a hint of sympathy. All right. Even if you use the rest of your life to love Wang Ma, how much love do you old geezer have left to give? Since you're back, get back to work. Help me organize and format this file." Fubo looked at the USB drive Lin Ran handed him, a look of confusion on his face. "Young Master Lin, what is this?" "Nothing. I prepared a 100-plus page PPT for the Lin family. Such trivial matters should be handled by the staff. You should be accompanying the young miss. Don't end up like me one day, full of regrets. I now hate myself for not giving up everything for Dahua back then. Thinking about it now, it was my own cowardice. And Dahua, she was much braver than me. A woman who can persist in what she wants amidst countless strange looks and rumors. This alone is something an ordinary woman cannot do. Losing a son in old age, and then her grandson getting seriously ill, how much courage does it take to persevere until today?" This sense of debt spread like vines throughout Fubo's entire heart. So his future was for Atonement. "Don't worry, this time I absolutely will not let myself have regrets. Towards Luo Yao, I am serious." Fubo had his regrets, but didn't Lin Ran as well? If Xiao He hadn't given him a chance, he would be in an even worse state than the current Fubo. In that past life, after he died, how many times did his soul grieve alone in the dead of night? The feeling of regret from that time is unforgettable even now. This time, Fubo was puzzled. "By the way, where's Wang Ma?" Lin Ran directly changed the subject. "The young miss has arranged for people from the Yi family to help Anjian transfer hospitals. Wang Ma is with him. She told me to be sure to thank the young miss." Lin Ran, "So I'm just a decoration?" Forget it. A decoration is a decoration. As long as the little guy can get better, it's fine." "Young Master Lin, let's hand this file to the assistant team. Let the professionals handle professional matters." Lin Ran was instantly stunned. So he was just a big idiot, not even using such a good resource, or rather, not even thinking of it. All right, Fubo handed the file to Luo Yao's assistant team, and then continued chatting with Lin Ran. Fubo couldn't go 3 sentences without mentioning Wang Dahua, occasionally talking about Wang Anjian. Lin Ran couldn't go 2 sentences without mentioning Luo Yao. This old man and young man, in front of all the servants in the villa, were constantly showing off. Before long, Luo Yao finished her meeting. Seeing Lin Ran on the first floor talking with Fubo, she said coldly, "Ran, come here. Don't get too close to a heartless man." Fubo/Lin Ran. Lin Ran looked at Fubo with contempt. "See? In others' eyes, you're just a scummy old man. If you can't prove otherwise, I reckon you definitely won't survive. After all, Luo Yao had said that heartless men should take their own lives. Lin Ran obediently came to Luo Yao's side. Ran, if you want to live, you must never betray me. Lin Ran, don't worry, Yao Yao. Even if I only have one day left to live, I will pour all my love into you. Fubo, standing on the side, was stunned. Stealing my line right in front of me. How shameless. Luo Yao was also made happy by Lin Ran's words. Ran, I've noticed you've become a bit of a sweet talker lately. Sometimes I wonder if this is all a hallucination. So I want to know, are you really sincere? Lin Ran gently lifted a strand of hair from the person before him. He knew what Luo Yao lacked was a sense of security. He responded with a smile. Don't you know if it's real or not? I am your exclusive Ran, and a poison Ran at that, in need of affection as an antidote. Lin Ran gave a deep kiss, and Luo Yao responded passionately. The servants in the villa all lowered their heads and closed their eyes. Fubo quietly came up behind the two, resuming his role as a competent butler. After the two separated, they both frowned upon seeing Fubo's doting smile. Lin Ran, Fubo, what do you mean by looking at us like that? Are you planning to observe and learn? Luo Yao, why are you still alive? Fubo scratched his head a bit awkwardly and asked. Young miss, I'm not a heartless man. There was a misunderstanding back then. Young Master Lin can testify. Lin Ran, although I'd love to testify for you, I can't. Luo Yao looked at Fubo and said, Ran won't testify for you. When Wang Ma comes back, I'll ask her myself. If you are a heartless man, considering your years of dedicated service, I can lend you my dagger. Fubo felt a chill run through him. He knew Luo Yao was absolutely not joking. Lin Ran, Fubo, what were you smiling about just now? Young master, young miss, when would you like to have children? How many? So I can prepare to look after the little master and miss. Lin Ran was instantly stunned by this question. He never thought someone would be more anxious about the child issue than him and Luo Yao. I only want one child. Lin Ran's words caused Luo Yao's brows to furrow. She looked at Lin Ran, thinking, does our Ran want a child? Then she heard Lin Ran continue. I only want Yao Yao as my child. This time, the stunned expression shifted to Fubo's face, and the happy expression shifted to Luo Yao's. Indeed, emotions are transferable. Fubo coughed awkwardly a few times and said, everyone, wipe down all the vases in the villa today. All the servants quickly prepared to wipe the vases, but their minds were not on the vases. Just then, a servant shuffled over to Fubo's side. Fubo, all of us also have a question for you. Fubo was taken aback, a hint of doubt arising in his heart. These servants were usually so meek and subservient to him, yet they dared to ask him a question. Speak. I have a friend. He didn't know he had a grandson, nor did he know he had a son, and he even bullied his grandson's grandmother. Would you say this old man is a scumbag? All the servants froze, stopping their vase-wiping actions. Fubo was stunned. Lin Ran was stunned. Luo Yao was stunned. Even the vases were stunned. Damn, Fubo wanted to curse. This was the first time in all his years at the manor that he had been mocked. And right in front of the young miss and young Master Lin at that. If you don't want to lose this job, then keep your curiosity to yourself and get back to work. The servant muttered, see, he's getting antsy again. And he didn't even say where Wang Ma went. Fubo's face darkened, and he sternly reprimanded. Wang Ma is off today, attending to her own business. What are you babbling about? It seems I've been too lenient with you all, making you so disrespectful. Lin Ran also cleared his throat, and Fubo immediately fell silent. He had actually lost his temper with a servant in front of the young miss and young Master Lin. It seems he was really getting old and muddled. Your business with Wang Ma. I hope you can resolve it soon. Yes, young miss. Just then, Fubo was called away by a servant from Villa No. to inspect some work. Watching the old man leave, Luo Yao frowned. Ran, what do you think of Fubo? Hearing Luo Yao ask this, Lin Ran broke into a cold sweat for Fubo. Since she asked, it proved that Luo Yao already had the idea of letting Fubo go. But Fubo wasn't a bad person. The matter with Wang Ma couldn't be entirely his fault. Love requires a two-way street. In the end, the reason they reached this point today was that both of them had issues in the past. Moreover, Fubo had advised him many times in his previous life. For this reason alone, Fubo was not a bad person. He had also handled his and Luo Yao's affairs after their deaths, so he couldn't just repay kindness with ingratitude. Otherwise, he would have no place to be buried. Yao Yao, you're not really thinking of killing Fubo, are you? Luo Yao shook her head. Although I, Luo Yao, am ruthless and vicious, I'm not so far gone as to harm the old butler who has taken care of me for many years. I was just thinking whether I should cripple him. Heartless? Vicious? Who said you were heartless and vicious? You were simply the most affectionate wife in the world. Lin Ran silently mourned for Fubo for a second. No more. Luo Yao noticed Lin Ran's strange expression. You want to plead for him? It's not really pleading. I just feel his crime doesn't deserve this. Luo Yao nodded. Then let him leave the manor and fulfill his love. Work and love are inherently in conflict, just like us. If I manage the entire Luo group, I will inevitably have less time to spend with you. Hearing Luo Yao's words, Lin Ran felt his heart being tugged by something. Are work and love in conflict? Two people who love each other working in the same place. That's already very good. Love and work can go together. Look at all the couples out there who don't even have such an opportunity. They both work here and will often cross paths. Slowly, even a heart of stone will soften. Lin Ran's words seem to make sense. So you want to keep Fubo? I'm just giving you a suggestion. The final decision is yours. Whatever you decide, as your husband, I will support you unconditionally. This was what Lin Ran said, and it was also what he thought. After his rebirth, he rarely gave Luo Yao advice because of others, but this person was Fubo, so he had to make an exception. Fine. Since our Ran has spoken, I can't not give you face. Lin Ran spread his hands. What face do I have? You're the only one who cares about my face. Everyone else just wants to see me humiliated. Well, the others aren't your wife. Lin Ran was suddenly amused by Luo Yao's cute remark. Haha, wifey, you're so cute. It feels like we're two little kids. Luo Yao remembered the earlier phrase, I only want Yao Yao as my child, and her lips curled up once again. Since Lin Ran's rebirth, Luo Yao had smiled more times than in her entire life combined. Aran, you said you only wanted me as your child. Are you treating me like a child? Lin Ran showed a meaningful smile. You will always be my baby. Luo Yao was so charmed by Lin Ran that she was a bit dizzy, but the servants' hearts were bitter. Young master, young miss, please stop showing off. It's a bit too much. In the past, just you and a young miss showing off was manageable for our immunity. Now, Fubo and Wang Ma might be added to the mix. This job is becoming impossible. Besides, the young miss could never be your baby. She's the young miss of the top table. Luo Yao. Then I'll be your baby for a lifetime. Servants, kill me, but don't kill me with love. I can't take it. I can't handle it. Seeing the constipated expressions on the group of servants, Lin Ran knew they were hurt. Everyone's bonus will be doubled this month. Keep up the good work. Everyone looked at Lin Ran in surprise. No one expected these words to come from him. If the young miss said it, that would be fine, but the young master. Aran's words are my words. Thank you, young master. Thank you, young miss. Only after hearing Luo Yao's confirmation did the servants bow and express their thanks. They thought to themselves, show off more, keep showing off. We can still handle it. In response to the servants' reaction, Luo Yao frowned. Remember, from now on, Aran's words are my words. This is your first rule of working in the manor. Understood. The servants were sweating profusely. The work rules did indeed have this clause. Lin Ran and Luo Yao returned to the bedroom. Luo Yao looked around the room. This bedroom is missing something. Lin Ran also looked around. It looks fine to me. It's luxurious and elegant. What's missing? Luo Yao paused for a moment before saying, it's fine. I'll go find it myself. All right. As long as wifey is happy, she can buy whatever she wants. Nothing else matters. What do you want? I can buy it for you. I haven't bought you many gifts yet. Lin Ran thought to himself, the dividend from Saran Group is coming soon. I must prepare a surprise for Luo Yao this time. Aran, you've already given me the most precious thing. Lin Ran's face instantly flushed. You're so annoying. I must buy you gifts. Constantly give you gifts you like. Why? Someone once said that a man who spends money on a woman doesn't necessarily love her, but a man who doesn't spend money on a woman definitely doesn't love her. Luo Yao frowned, a wave of disgust in her heart. Which idiot said that, right? I think it's pretty idiotic too. It's just chicken soup for the soul. How many people's love has it poisoned? But then again, if other people's husbands do it, then I have to do it better. Luo Yao. Your wife is Luo Yao. You have endless money to spend. Lin Ran thought, wifey's right. He was grateful that Luo Yao had always loved him so much. I am incredibly fortunate to still have the chance to love you. Aran, love isn't proven by words. Luo Yao looked at a rather hidden and nice spot in the bedroom, a somewhat sickly smile appearing on her face. It seems I'll have to go out for a bit when I have time. The night passed without a word. Early the next morning, Luo Yao went to the study for a meeting with her assistant team. Fubo came to the bedroom. Young Master Lin, bad news. Your Nuanyo group is surrounded. What? Lin Ran looked at Fubo in surprise, thinking that the nonsense posted by Lin Jian and Lin Tianba couldn't have caused such outrage. It's like this, Lin Tianba posted another video. At the same time, Wu Zhishang's call came through. Lin Ran answered it. Brother Lin, bad news. Lin Ran, chill. Quiet down. Don't panic when things happen. I know what you're going to say. As the president of my Nuanyo group, you can't even handle this little thing? Brother Lin, this isn't a matter of handling it, but of public opinion. Handling it is simple. Calling the police should disperse them quickly. But what about the public opinion fallout afterward? Lin Ran, you don't need to worry about that. I'll handle what comes next. After hanging up, Lin Ran went to watch the video. He actually had no idea what had specifically happened. Over on Wu Zhishang's end, he decisively called the police. Then, Lin Ran saw his scumbag father's latest disgusting tactic. After watching Lin Tianba's statement video, he was almost livid. To clear Lin Jian's name, Lin Tianba had actually tied him and Lu Rushua together. Video. Actually, Lu Rushua likes my eldest son, Lin Ran, and Lin Ran also likes Lu Rushua. You could say they are true childhood sweethearts, so everyone might have misunderstood. At hashtag #yin%. And I, Lin Tianba, am just a father who has given everything for his son. I gave all my shares in Saran Group to Lin Ran, just so he would learn to be grateful. I never expected it to end up like this. Seeing this, Lin Ran was on the verge of exploding. He wasn't angry about the video itself. He was, in fact, completely unfazed. The video wasn't the key. The key was, what would Luo Yao think if she saw this? Being inexplicably linked with Lu Rushua, wouldn't Luo Yao get angry again? And if she got angry, wouldn't he be in for a world of pain? Sure enough, at that very moment, Luo Yao in the study exploded. Lu Meng, by her side, was frozen in fear, not daring to say a word. Go, bring our Ran here. Every word from Luo Yao seemed to be pronouncing a death sentence. Soon, Lu Meng appeared before Lin Ran. Young Master Lin, President Luo wants you in the study. Lin Ran, why the study? Lu Meng kept her head down. This, I wouldn't know. At this point, Fubo tried to mediate. Young Master Lin, you should go quickly. You know, as servants, there are many things we can't ask. Don't force Special Assistant Lu. Lin Ran gave Fubo a strange look. Fubo's face was full of sadness and worry, but his eyes seemed to have a hint of schadenfreude. Lin Ran could easily detect such a look of schadenfreude, because a certain wretched cat had the same look. Fine, I get it. I'll go over right away. Before Fubo could react, Lin Ran continued. I remember Wang Ma hasn't forgiven you yet, has she? Fubo instantly wilted like a frostbitten eggplant. With a sense of trepidation, Lin Ran walked into the study. As soon as he entered, he was met with Luo Yao's bone-chilling gaze. Aran, come here. Lin Ran swallowed and slowly walked to the desk. Luo Yao grabbed Lin Ran by the neck, slammed him onto the desk, and kissed him fiercely. After the kiss ended, Lin Ran, panting heavily, asked, Yao Yao, you're in the mood again? Isn't it a bit early in the morning? Luo Yao glared at the computer camera and said viciously, Lin Ran is my husband. If anyone dares to speak nonsense again, I will throw them into the sea to feed the sharks. Don't doubt my words. Lin Ran said with a wronged expression, Of course I'm your husband. What's wrong? Are you angry because of the Lu Rushua matter? You know that's all nonsense Lin Tianba made up. Just wait until I'm ready, and I'll show them why the flowers are so red. And you, my baby, how can a baby treat her husband like this? Let me go first, so I can dote on you properly. Luo Yao didn't answer Lin Ran's words, but continued to look at the computer. All of you look closely. If I hear those words again, you'd better be careful. Lin Ran was suddenly stunned, feeling that something wasn't right. He turned his head in a daze and saw that Luo Yao was recording. Thank goodness it wasn't a live stream, or it would have been mortifying. At the same time, Luo Yao stopped the recording and sent it directly to Lu Meng. Handle the PR. I'm so pissed off. Lin Ran quickly tried to soothe Luo Yao's emotions. Wifey, you know, no one can shut everyone's mouth. As long as you know I love you, that's enough, right? And I'm so, take that video back, and I'll help you record a better one. In that video, I look a bit disheveled. Luo Yao looked at Lin Ran, and the anger in her heart seemed to be slowly dissipating. It's already been sent out. Lin Ran. Take it off. Huh? Lin Ran had a question mark on his face. Take off your clothes. Lin Ran didn't dare to resist and quickly complied. Just as he took off his shirt, Luo Yao pulled him over and bit down hard. This time, Luo Yao truly showed no mercy. Urk! A wave of pain washed over him. Lin Ran felt as if a piece of his flesh had been bitten off. Fortunately, it was just a feeling, not a reality. Before Lin Ran could check if he was bleeding, a cold glint suddenly flashed. A dagger appeared in Luo Yao's hand, its tip a mere 0.1 centimeters from Lin Ran's eye. Right now, with a single thought from Luo Yao, Lin Ran would be blind. He blinked, and several of his eyelashes were sliced off by the sharp blade. This dagger was truly sharp. Good wifey, let's talk things out. There's no need for knives and weapons. Put away, it's dangerous. Luo Yao. Ran, this is all your fault. If you hadn't liked Lu Rushua back then, none of this would be happening today. Do you know how angry I get when I see those things about you and Lu Rushua? Lin Ran fell silent. He knew none of this was wrong. Luo Yao's understanding was completely correct. How blind must he have been to have simped for Lu Rushua? There was nothing wrong with Luo Yao wanting to kill him. Yao Yao, if this will make you feel better, then do it. The blade didn't move from Lin Ran's eye. The cold voice continued its accusation. The most hateful thing is that the affair between you and Lu Rushua wasn't fake. You were indeed Lu Rushua's simp. That is undeniable. Luo Yao's tone was very calm, but Lin Ran knew that the calmer she was, the angrier she actually was. He blinked again, feeling the temperature of the blade's tip. So you want to kill me? Luo Yao licked her lips with her small tongue, revealing a crimson madness. No. Every time I remember your eyes looking at Lu Rushua with so much affection, I hate it to death. I want to gouge out your eyes and carry them with me, so that from now on, you can only look at me. I'm screwed, Lin Ran thought. I need to save myself, and fast. If he tried to play hard to get at this moment, he might really end up blind. Your idea is not bad, but if that were the case, I wouldn't be able to see you, because my eyes would be looking at you, but the nerve signals wouldn't be transmitted back, so I wouldn't know I was seeing you. Master, put down the knife. Let me consciously want to look at you, because for the next few decades, you are all that will be in my eyes. With just a few words from Lin Ran, Luo Yao finally let down her guard, her whole body starting to soften. Lin Ran immediately pulled her into a hug, cursing Lin Tianba 1,000 times in his heart. In truth, he knew Luo Yao most likely wouldn't really gouge out his eyes, but he didn't dare to bet on it. When Luo Yao truly went crazy, it could happen in an instant. Many major events often happen in an instant. He remembered how decisive and swift she was when she dealt with Lin Jian, old Master Luo, and Luo Wuyo. Those were all instantaneous actions. Luo Yao's movements were fluid and fast. If she were to act against him, it would be just as fluid and fast. Fortunately, he managed to move Luo Yao with his sincerity in the end. Otherwise, he really wouldn't have dared to move. He wouldn't have dared to move at all. Suddenly, Luo Yao seemed to snap back to reality. Looking at Lin Ran, she once again showed a guilty expression. Ran, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to gouge out your eyes. Lin Ran smiled helplessly. I know. You just had an episode, that's all. I don't blame you at all. Luo Yao knew Lin Ran was telling the truth, but she was afraid that one day she would truly hurt him. I don't want to. What do I do? Will I really hurt you one day? Lin Ran said with a relaxed expression. Actually, your illness is because you love me too much. And I have an illness too. The two of us are two of a kind. At these words, Luo Yao instantly grew tense. You're sick. Lin Ran nodded. I am sick. I have a sickness of loving you to the bone. Even knowing you might hurt me, I can't pull myself away, because this is all what I deserve. I hope you don't feel any pressure, because the truest you is what I want. Luo Yao was so moved by Lin Ran's words that she almost wanted to melt him into her own body. Perhaps she had already done so. Ran, I know you don't like me saying thank you, nor do you like me saying I'm sorry. So right now, I just want to have you, to give you everything I can possibly give. Lin Ran looked at Luo Yao, his heart aching a little. In fact, the reason the woman before him had become like this was inextricably linked to him. As a child, Luo Yao had already shown some unusual possessiveness, and his repeated appearances had completely amplified this desire. Finding hope in despair. This was perhaps the true reason for Luo Yao's current state. Since that was the case, he had to accept her without any complaints, to love and protect her. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to respect himself. Besides, right now, Luo Yao only wanted to tie his heart with her body. What was wrong with that? If she wanted it, he would give it. It wasn't a difficult thing. His heart had long since been completely given to Luo Yao. After Luo Yao finally fell asleep in Lin Ran's arms, Lin Ran gently carried his wife to the bedroom bed. When Lin Ran walked out of the bedroom again, Fubo came over. Young Master Lin. 2 more videos have been exposed online. Take a look. Again, is there no end to this? Fine, fine. You want to play with me? Then bring it on. Let's see who's more formidable in the end. Damn it. Have someone prepare that PPT for me as soon as possible. I'm going to drop the bomb right in their faces. Lin Ran took a look at the video and was momentarily stunned. This video seemed a bit different from what he had imagined. It looked like it was in some dessert shop, a video of him and Luo Yao using money to clear out everyone and enjoy the shop's services exclusively. The caption was the way rich people insult others. Looking at the comment section, the battle was fierce and brutal. Lin Ran almost laughed out loud. So it was about this incident. And the person who posted the video seemed to be just a passerby, a netizen named something like 2 swords, 1 yellow, 1 green. This must be some resentful youth who hates the rich. Looking at the second video, this time, Lin Ran's expression finally turned a little serious. In this video, a blogger was analyzing a recording. In the recording, Lin Ran was very insultingly calling someone a poor bastard, and opposite him were Lu Jian and Zhao Miao Miao. This, blogger/host. Do poor people not deserve to eat steak? Can Nuanyo's chairman really gain respect by insulting people like this? %yen. Thank you to Nuanyo Media for sponsoring this video. This time, Lin Ran was truly so angry he laughed. He seemed to know who had provided these 2 videos. He had originally thought it was Lin Tianba and Lin Jian causing trouble again, but it turned out there were other experts. Sure enough, once trouble starts, all the hidden enemies come out. Lin Ran even felt like waiting a bit longer to see if any more enemies would emerge. After all, the best time to see people's true colors is when you're down on your luck. When you're successful in real life, you're surrounded by good people. Everyone loves and likes you. When you're down and out, who knows how many of those good people become unreachable? The ones who ignore you are the decent ones. The disgusting ones will even kick you when you're down. One's own failure is terrible, but the success of those around you is even more heart-wrenching. So when you fail again, you'll be sad, and when you're sad, everyone else is happy. Emotions really are transferable. Young Master Lin, what should we do now? Forget it. Let's counterattack as soon as possible. After all, this isn't just about me anymore. Continuing to wait wouldn't have much effect on him. After all, Lin Ran was someone who had been reborn. If not immune to all poisons, he was at least thick-skinned. These online attacks couldn't cause him any real harm. Understood. Your reputation has indeed taken a hit these past 2 days. Lin Ran, so what? If they have the guts, they can break into the manor and punch me twice. I'll give them credit for that. And on what grounds do you say my reputation is bad? Has Wang Ma forgiven you? Fubo was instantly speechless. Why did it feel like young Master Lin had something on him? The main reason Lin Ran was counterattacking now was fear of Luo Yao getting angry. After all, anything concerning him would affect his wife's emotions. There were also the employees of Nuanyo Group. Imagining them being besieged by people on their way to and from work every day, a feeling called guilt flickered in Lin Ran. According to Wu Zhishang, Chun Xingtian's film crew had already told her to take a temporary break, and there were even rumors they were preparing to replace her. Because she was a Nuanyo artist, the crew set was being broken into and disrupted every few days. But precisely because Chun Xingtian was a Nuanyo artist, the director didn't dare to do anything serious to her, only telling her to return to Kyoto to rest. If it were an artist from another company, the contract would probably have been terminated by now. After all, few in the entertainment industry had a background like Chun Xingtian's. Her grandmother was a hero. Her grandfather was the director of the Education Bureau. Her uncle was a political leader, and her brother was the husband of the top chaebol heiress. Who would dare to provoke her? Lin Jian, Lin Tianba, Lu Jian, you're all something else. Daring to go against me? What items are you equipped with? Even if you're fully built with 6 items, I can still take on 5 of you. There was no need to think. These 2 videos were definitely the handiwork of Lu Jian and Zhao Miao Miao. The steakhouse incident happened with them, and as for the dessert shop, it was probably clipped from some online post. After all, when Luo Yao cleared the field with gold coins, it was very reasonable for curious passersby to film it. Even Lin Ran would take out his phone to film and show off if he encountered something like that. This time, let's just kill off all this trash. Make it so they never dare to spout nonsense online again. As for offline, I'll leave that to the all-powerful netizens after my live stream. I like to see if they can withstand it. You use the internet to smear me, so I'll use the internet to cyberbully you. Let's see who's more formidable. I, Lin Ran, have a manor and a team of bodyguards. What do you have? Fubo, prepare the PPT. And give me the files on Lu Jian and Zhao Miao Miao. Yes, young Master Lin. Lu Jian and Zhao Miao Miao were ordinary people, so their files were very easy to prepare. Without a second word, Lin Ran logged into his Douyin account. Logging into this account again, he was shocked by his own notifications. It wasn't just 99 plus messages. The number of new followers was ridiculously high. Lin Ran had only been off this account for a few days, but this account, with only one video and one live stream, had somehow become an account with over 10 million new followers. One must know, this kind of situation was explosive in the entire online world. He wasn't an internet celebrity or a star, and he had no fan base. Yet in such a short time, he had gained over 10 million fans. It was simply absurd. This was much faster than Zhang Xiaolong's rise to fame in his previous life. Could it be that he was the true internet celebrity saint? Before long, countless online netizens' phones received a notification. The streamer you follow, my master is Luo Yao, has started a live stream. Instantly, the live stream room was flooded with a large number of viewers. Lin Ran faced the camera and delivered a handsome blow. The good man is me, and I am Lin Ran. Everyone, we meet again. At the same time, Nuanyo Media, the Luo Group, and their partners all seized Lin Ran's popularity and began to promote and broadcast simultaneously. Even the promotional screen outside the Luo Group building switched to Lin Ran's live stream. Of course, the one who did all this was Luo Yao. This caused the number of viewers in the live stream to skyrocket. The bullet comments were almost blurring together. Bao Yin sits on a lamp. Didn't you say you wouldn't stream again? Why are you back? Are you here to cash in? Stop wasting time and just post the link. I want to see what kind of things a rich young master at your level is planning to sell. Whose youth doesn't go to bed? I just saw Luo Yao's PR response. My God, it was explosive. I want to know, can a streamer really survive in that house? Luo Yao seems to have violent tendencies. The screen was filled with dense bullet comments. Lin Ran glanced at two of them from the back end, and then replied first. I'm not necessarily going to sell anything. If I did sell products, it might be airplanes or yachts. I don't know if you can afford them. As for this friend who says my wife has violent tendencies, I just want to say my wife is rich and beautiful and loves me to death. What's wrong with her being a little possessive of me? What's wrong with that? After Lin Ran spoke, two more golden bullet comments appeared. Too young to know the good of a rich woman. Mistook a bro for a treasure. No matter what, the fact that Lin Ran and Luo Yao used money to insult people at the dessert shop can't be washed away. Can you really trample on others' dignity just because you're rich? Kidney pain. Exactly. This is undeniable. Lin Ran and Luo Yao are just using their money to insult people. It's so disgusting. Get Wu Jing. People who use money to insult others, get out of China. Lin Ran was instantly enraged and shouted at the screen. How did I insult anyone? We gave each of them a stack of cash, and they all left happily. How is that an insult? How is it an insult? As he spoke, Lin Ran's anger instantly transformed into a mocking smile, his acting skills worthy of an Oscar. Oh, I get it. You're not angry that I insulted others. You're angry that I didn't insult you, right? As soon as Lin Ran said this, the bullet comments paused for a brief moment. Then they began to scroll crazily. Trump is unreliable. Yeah, damn, I was wondering what fell off. So that's it. If someone gave me a stack of cash, I'd be very happy to. How is that an insult? If that's all an insult, then please insult me with all you've got.